JB&M Sports Fanatic channel, what's good with you? We are here for a massive Big Ten football game here today. We're talking about the Oregon Ducks versus Penn State Nittany Lions here. And man, this one right here, last time we saw these two teams here, there was a lot at stake here for both of these teams. And this one right here, early in the season, first major challenge for both of these two teams. So we're going to see who goes out there and really shows that they are the better team here because this is a massive matchup here in the Big Ten, and I'm excited for it in this one. And we will see who will win this one. Can Penn State at home win this big game, or will Oregon find a way on the road to be victorious here today? We're going to find out a lot about these two teams here today and who's going to win this one. Let's see. Mr. JB in the chat here says, let's go, Duck, to get us started here. All right, just awaiting kickoff here any minute. And again, both of these two teams here ranked inside of the top 10 for this matchup. So we've got Samuel in the building. What's good, Samuel? Samuel says, what's up, JV and Yeehaw at Dallas, Texas? What's good with you, Samuel? How are we feeling today? How are we feeling today? And again, Penn State at home for this matchup here. And we will see how this game plays out today. A lot of experience here, especially on Penn State side. You look at the players that they had this year. They were in this big time matchup last year, a lot of them in key roles, and they're going to play a big part in today's matchup here. Mike, what's good, Mike? Mike says, shout out JB. What's good? So, Mike, tell me, which games have you been watching so far today, Mike? I mean, I know that the Bama and Georgia game is coming on at the same time as this one. That's the only dislike I have for today is just simply the fact that both of these two games come on at the same exact time. So I had to choose between the two. But I know that Georgia and Bama game, that would be a highly anticipated matchup as well. Samuel says, Ole Miss win. That's right. They won 24-19 over LSU. So that's a massive victory right there for Mississippi, honestly. Because like beating LSU, who was ranked fourth in the country, they were already ranked 13, but that is a massive win for them. One that's going to pay off come college football playoff time to have a win like that up under their belt. So a massive win there for Ole Miss to hold on for the victory there. Yes, I know I did choose LSU in that matchup pregame there, but Ole Miss was victorious. Samuel says Ohio State won. Yeah, they won 24-6. Got off to an extremely slow start in that one. The first half, they only mustered like 7 points. So it was the second half in which they were able to finally get to 24-6 to make the score look respectable. But Washington played extremely hard, especially being at home in that matchup as well. Ohio State tried to not ask their quarterback to do too much in that one. I know that Ryan Day pregame essentially told Julian Sayers, like, hey, just go out there, do the same thing you did against Texas. Just go out there, protect the football. And I feel like that's what Julian Saying essentially did. Didn't go out there turning the ball over. He just protected the football. Damn, it says good, safe Mississippi State. Yeah, Mississippi State. When I was watching that game earlier, I know that Mississippi State had took a little lead against Tennessee there. So your team essentially versus Laney's team. There's still time to go in that matchup there, but Mississippi State at home saying, "Hey, we may just be able to pull off a victory versus a 15th ranked Tennessee." So we'll see how that game finishes off. Again, Penn State here versus Oregon. That is the matchup here for this one. I wonder just how many points we'll see in this one. Both teams do have good defenses here that are underrated defenses. So we'll see how it plays out. All right. So again, just awaiting the start here of this game, this matchup here any moment. And again, let me know here in the chat, who do you guys think will win this matchup here? Will it be Penn State again at home, or will it be the Oregon Ducks on the road here in this one? A win in this type of matchup might be enough to elevate them potentially as high as the number two spot, perhaps, one might think. Again, just awaiting kickoff here. But lots of craziness already so far this week for college football. And although this took place yesterday, the Florida State losing to Virginia, that was an insane matchup there. Went to double overtime in that matchup there. But the Seminoles probably caught looking too far to the week ahead, and they ended up losing on the road versus Virginia in a very good trap game there, in which Florida State lost in double overtime. Heartbreaking fashion for the Seminoles in that one. Kenneth, what's good? Kenneth says, "Hey, my friend, how are you doing tonight? JB is doing well. How about yourself?" And you said you're going good tonight, and let's do the Knowles versus Miami game next weekend. JB likes that idea. JB likes that idea. Florida State versus Miami, big time matchup there and stuff. So absolutely, JB's all for it. I got to see what time does that matchup come on next week. But I too want to do the Florida State versus Miami matchup next week. It will definitely be a great matchup, I feel like. So I like that idea. Daniel says Vanderbilt game final score. They won 55. They won 55-35 in that one. Okay, so yeah, Miami, Florida State be about 6:30 Central Time, 7:30 Eastern Time. Okay, at Florida State. So yeah, I can aim to do that one. Absolutely, do that matchup. So many great football games ahead of us here. This is like the heart of where all of the big time conference matchups, the rivalry games, all of that about to take place. So this is a great time for football. Great time for football. Still waiting to kick off for this matchup here. Let's see, Samuel says, good, great game yesterday night, Friday NCAA game. That's right. Because in addition to the Virginia beating Florida State in double overtime yesterday, which was a complete shocker for me, I did not think that was going to happen. But there was also TCU versus Arizona State, which turned out to be a tremendous game. I think Arizona State won that one by 3 points, if I'm not mistaken, like 27-24, something around that being the final score for yesterday's matchup. So that was a good one. Night was indeed a good Josh Hoover threw for 242 yards passing. No touchdowns, two interceptions in that matchup there. So he had a rough time that against that Arizona State defense. All right, still just awaiting the start of the game. Could be any minute. All right, Samuel says TCU game lost final score 24-27. So yeah, they did lose that one there. In which I was rooting for TCU to win that one. I was rooting for them to win that one, but Arizona State at home turned out to be just a little too much for them, just a little bit. RC was good, and RC says JB with a shocker. Bro, I just knew you would do the Georgia versus Alabama, if any. And so, RC, it just comes down to me being the Big Ten guy, honestly. Penn State versus Oregon, two teams in the Big Ten, with Ohio State being in the Big Ten. And as you know, with Iowa as well, I had to do the Big Ten Conference. I just had to. I mean, I would have loved to done the Georgia game, honestly, but I don't know why they put it on at the same time as this matchup and made us choose. And I figured everybody else would probably be live streaming the Georgia game, so it'd be a good idea for me to go ahead and do the Oregon versus Penn State game, honestly. And she said JB was having the time of his life watching Ohio versus Bowling Green earlier today. No, actually, it was quite the opposite there. Ohio State versus Washington there. I didn't get to watch Ohio State till like maybe like almost middle of the third quarter there, and by the time I started watching, it was right when Ohio State started to actually wake up. But man, that first half there, I was looking at my phone. I was like, "Oh man, don't tell me it's gonna be one of those games that we're just gonna just wait till the last minute and stuff." But I knew it wasn't gonna be a high scoring game for us, because even Ryan Day coming into the game was like, "Hey, just make sure." He told Julian saying, just do what you did against Texas. And I was like, well, we didn't move the ball that much against Texas, not for a lot of points anyways. So if that's the goal, then we're really not trying to score that many points. See, Samuel says Arizona versus Iowa State game 0-8 in the first quarter. And so, yeah, I was peeking at the score and seeing Arizona State up 8-0. We'll see how that game plays out. RC said that's the game you were watching there. You just tuned in 5 minutes ago. And Mike says he'll be listening, though. Appreciate that. And again, everybody let me know who you've got in this one, Oregon or Penn State. Who are we going for this matchup here? Two teams from the Big Ten, massive opportunity ahead with this game here. It's going to come down to me, honestly, for coaching. These two teams, they have all the talent in the world. It's just going to come down to these coaches putting these boys in the right position, and then these players making key plays when they need to make key plays. And she says Notre Dame being cupcakes hasn't even been that fashionable to me. JB Arkansas must be sewer water if they lost 56-13. Honestly, Notre Dame played clearly their best game of the season there. The Razorback, they disappointed me last week when I chose them to pick Memphis. So this time I chose Notre Dame to beat the Razorback, and it paid off in a big way. That game paid off, and I also chose on my weekly pick'ems, I chose the Fighting Illini to beat USC, and I turned out to be right. I know everybody else was going USC because of what happened last week, but I was like, I know that even though Indiana blew out Illinois that much, it wasn't that big of a difference between the two teams. It's just a lot of injuries that took place on the defensive side there for Indiana, and I'm sorry, not Indiana, for Illinois, and they came out and put it together against USC. So that was interesting to watch. Sammy says, "Oh no, Tennessee versus Mississippi State, 34-34 in the fourth quarter with a minute 50. They may be heading to overtime, Samuel. Keep me updated with that." And again, just awaiting this game to get started here any second. Oregon versus Penn State. What you said, Virginia Tech 3, North Carolina State 7, and that's at the beginning of the second quarter. RC bet. Mike says, Panthers, JB, Bryce back. I will say no. From everything that I heard from that Falcons game, it seems like the Panthers, they started off with great field positioning just because of Atlanta mistakes. So that helped the offense out because the defense put in that work. So I'm not going to say that Bryce is back just yet. And the Patriots, I believe that Gonzo will be back this weekend for the first time this season, honestly. So if so, that will limit Pet's opportunities and force the Panthers into having to rely more on that ground game. And against our defense, this is not the year that you want to have to depend on the ground game. So we're gonna see, but I don't think so. I don't think so. At least not yet. Maybe later in the season. See, Samuel says, "Where is Laney?" Laney's probably right now glued to the television watching Tennessee, hoping that Tennessee can pull off that victory. That's what I'm betting that she's currently doing right now. All right, game's getting ready to get started here. Penn State versus Oregon. Again, you guys let me know who will win this matchup. And if you're someone that's watching that's new, let us know in the chat that you're new here and let me know your favorite teams, both, college, NFL, favorite sports also. So favorite sports, favorite teams. We get ready for this showdown here. And again, I know that some people will be going back and forth between this game and also the Georgia game, Georgia versus Alabama. So do keep JB up with what's going on with that game as well in the chat. RC said, JB, I looked on your channel 5 hours ago. I didn't see a planned stream. And so, yeah, I waited on that one because I was not sure if I was going to do the LSU versus the Ole Miss game, which was the game that I originally was planning on streaming there just because of the time being earlier in the day. But I didn't get back until like right when that game was getting started. So I was like, all right, I'll just go ahead and do the Oregon versus Penn State game at that point. So kickoff on the way. And now the Oregon Ducks will get the football here, and we will see what they do offensively in this one. You've got to make every single drive count. Braden, Brayhawk, man of the week. Our two teams battled fiercely in fantasy football this past week, but JB's team was victorious. And so, but Braden's got a good fantasy team. I know his record right now isn't what he wanted to be, but he's still got a good fantasy team. I feel like there's a couple people that just have had tough breaks, and Braden has had a really tough schedule so far. But I do think that his fantasy team can pull it together. He's got the talent. It's just, unfortunately, he played JB this past week. First and 10 for the Oregon Ducks from their own 25-yard line. Gets it to the back, off the left guard, nothing but space in front of him. Picked up about 6, almost 7 yards on a carry. And if that's any indication of what this offensive line is going to do today, then look out. Oregon will run you off the sidewalk if you let them. You got to stop them. All right, here we go. Second and 4, 5 wide here for the Oregon Ducks from their own 31-yard line. Gets the snap. Moore throws it. Gets the completion. Goes out of bounds. Will be a yard shy of that first down. marker. So now you got 3rd and 1 coming up for the Oregon Ducks. Why not run it again the way that offensive line showed on that first run that, hey, we can open up some holes here. RC said he's not new here, but his teams are college football, Notre Dame, Iowa, NFL, Cowboys, and the Colts. Bet. He said JV is stabbing at the air because he really wanted to desperately stream BYU versus Colorado. See, last year that would have been a big time matchup, and JV still would have avoided it. Oregon snaps the ball, gives it to the up back, and the up back gets enough for the first down. Picked up about 2 yards, so definitely got the first down on that carry. Fresh set of downs to work with here. That time, everybody in, multiple backs in the backfield there, quarterback up under center, put a guy in motion, give it to the up back. You got the defense going one way, and then you run it between the center and right guard, get the first down there. Love the execution of that play. Mike says TCU wrecked. And so, yes, heartbreaking, heartbreaking. See, Brayhawk says it's been disappointing so far. Well, it's still early. That's the good part. It's still early, but you got to wake up this week, though. All right, quarterback up in the center here, 1st and 10, play fake, bootlegging, has to get rid of it, does, gets it to the guy and hurdles somebody, gets tackled at the 42-yard line. So right now, Oregon moving the football, making it look easy right now, 2nd and short coming up here for the Oregon Ducks in this one. 13 minutes to go here in the first quarter on the opening drive of the game. Samuel says next up, NCAA college football game night versus is BYU versus Colorado game. Start time at 9:15. Wake actually lost, Mike. Wake Forest lost to Georgia Tech. I literally just found out myself about 10 minutes before I went live that Georgia Tech held on for the W there. I think did Wake Forest go for like 2 or something like that and didn't get it, so they were stopped. And so yeah, Georgia Tech won that game. It's a close one though. I did not think that Wake Forest had it in them, honestly. Mike says Oregon will win, and not just win, they will win big time. No, they didn't. So she said, "Be right back." Bet. Braden says Iowa almost upset Indiana. In my mind, I had it close. That it was. I had an idea that it was going to be a close game. I really felt like it was going to be close. So I was not surprised at all. The game went almost exactly how I thought it would go. Meanwhile, what does surprise me here is that Penn State defensively on 3rd and 1 got in there and got the stop. Now, you know, if you're the Oregon Ducks, you're going to go ahead and roll that dice because you just don't believe that they can stop you. But if you're Penn State, this is an opportunity. In order to be great, you must be presented with an opportunity to do something great. And this is that opportunity right here, right now, on 4th down, with an Oregon team that converts nearly 68% of their 4th down attempts 4th and inches. You look at Penn State, one has to think that Oregon should be able to get this one with ease, but let's see. They snap the ball, feeds it to the back. It's got to get to the outside, and he gets it. Picks up about a good 2 yards down the play. But wait a minute. Wait a minute. There is a flag here. If this flag happens to be holding on the offense, then that would negate all of that. But let's see. What is this flag? Ooh, the movement there by the offensive line. So that's going to be major. Up there was movement there is on the other side, so I didn't see it, but there was movement, false start. And that's big. That's big. Bray Hawk says USC versus Illinois was a great game. Yeah, yeah. JB actually picked the fight in the lineup to win that one. Mike says JB steps back. JB's looking. Mike sneaks around on the side. Look out, JB. No. Hey, that's exactly what they're going to be saying about Micah Parsons going against the Cowboys here. That's exactly what they're going to be saying. All right, punt on the way. Gets it from the 16. Penn State goes down to his knees here. So about 15-yard line where Penn State will start off for the first time offensively in this one here in the first quarter with 10 minutes and 52 seconds to go. The defense came up big. Penalty definitely helped them on that one to stop Oregon. Now what can the offense do if you're Penn State? Mike says, thanks, JV. Boto, what's good? What's good? Boto says Alabama receiver dropped a touchdown. He was wide open. Is it the kid that they hyped up that was on the cover of NCAA football? I forget his name. I can't think of his name right now, but was it him? So let me say this one day it's an epic fail by the NCAA to have Oregon versus Penn State, Georgia, and Alabama at the same time. Finally, someone else says the same thing that JB was thinking. And also, JB's got to go ahead and congratulate your team, both of the Steelers there, for getting that W against my Patriots there. I mean, we made so many turnovers and mistakes in that one. It was crazy, crazy. Absolutely. But you're right. That's what got me coming into this week. I was like, why would you put two amazing games on at the same time when you clearly could have put Oregon versus Penn State on at noon? They clearly could have did that, but they did not do it. So that was a fail on their part. Samuel says Tennessee versus Mississippi State 34-34. So they're going to go to overtime, basically, it looks like. Or is it about to line up for a field goal attempt? Let's see. Brayhawk says Ryan Williams. That's right. With a horrible drop, Black Medicine's crashing out right now. Oh yeah, he's crashing out. Something's getting broken right now as we speak. Samuel says Tennessee versus Mississippi State game OT now. All right, keep me up to date with that one there. Mississippi State versus Tennessee. Boto says Georgia just epic failed on a pick. And so, oh man, Georgia sounds like Georgia's making mistakes. Mistakes after mistake. But meanwhile, in this one here, we are at the commercial. We got to see Oregon go out there. They moved the ball with ease. They honestly were moving the ball with ease. I like what I saw from the run game there, but on fourth down, they converted, but there was a flag before the play that moved them back. So they went ahead, punt the ball there to Penn State. And right now, we're going to see Penn State offensively here for the first time today in this one. And for them, it's important. They have to be able to convert on third down in this matchup here. Obviously, nobody you try to avoid third down, but when they're faced with third down, they've got to be able to convert. When they get into the red zone, they've got to come away with touchdowns as opposed to field goals. Those will be the differences between winning and losing. And everybody's looking at James Franklin. James Franklin, like, hey, you got to stop playing around. It's now or never. Samuel says Laney versus Samuel. That's right. And OT. All right, Penn State with the football guy goes in motion. They give it to him off the left side. They're trying to break it to the outside. Takes on the contact, picks up about 3 yards there on the end around. Second down coming up here for Penn State offensively. As he says, Laney versus Samuel in the Cotton Bowl. Yes. All right, second down here for Penn State. Again, 10:25 to go here in the first quarter of play. 2nd and 7 coming up. Shotgun formation here for Penn State. Tight end goes in motion. Couple receivers bottom of the screen. Oh, look at that direct snap here to the running back. But they say everything that shines isn't gold. And that's exactly what happened on this play. It looked nice in theory, but only picked up a yard on the play. Oregon not falling for it. Now, third down. JB just said in this matchup, they got to be able to convert on third downs. So can they get it on 3rd and 5? This is where you need Drew Alar to be that guy. If he is him, he has to step up in games like this. Samuel says, crazy URC. Yes, 3rd and 5, 9:35 to go here in the first quarter of play. 10 seconds right now on the play clock. You've got three receivers, one tight end, one back. Receiver goes in motion. 5 seconds on the play clock. They snap the ball. Oregon sends forward, throws it over the middle, ball deflected, incomplete. Fourth down coming up. So Oregon defense gets the stop. Then bring out the special teams unit. Let's see. Brayhawk says, created a TikTok account today trying to expand your reach. We'll see how it goes. Well, best of luck there to you, and let me know how that goes. Let me know how that goes. Punts on the way. See, right now, JV's just in, I guess you could say, survival mode when it comes to just content here. I'm trying to get my energy up. Like, when I say that JV's energy is significantly lower than it was like 2 years ago when I actually had the energy for a lot more streams. So I'm just really trying to navigate and figure out what's the best way to recover some of my energy so that way I have more energy and stuff so that way I can stream a lot more. CRC said, I am back, JV. Bama receiver Ryan Williams dropped a wide open long pass from Alabama quarterback. Ty Simpson's his name. I don't get it, but he dropped it. So big opportunity missed. Hey, I'm seeing a lot of receivers drop passes this year where I'm just like, if I'm the quarterback and I put the ball there, the least you can do is catch it. That's the least you can do. Greyhawk says Alabama driving. All right. Dante Moore taking a deep shot here for the Oregon Ducks. Got the completion, but the referee said he was out of bounds. So he did get the catch, just out of bounds. Tough one there. Now let's see. Was he truly out of bounds? You just need one foot in. Oh, yeah, definitely out of bounds. No doubt about that. Goto says, love seeing LSU lose versus Ole Miss in the final score. Makes it seem like it was close, but really Ole Miss dominated the game. And so, JB was wrong about that one. I chose LSU to win that matchup there just because Ole Miss has hurt me many times in the past, but Ole Miss decided to put it together the moment that JB doesn't pick them. Oh, man, look at that tough physical run up the middle by Oregon. Once again, they're able to pick up about a good 6-yard gain on the ground. That's something right there that by the time we get to the second half, those can turn into longer gains just because look at it, how physical he's running over and through linebackers is just you love to see it if you're rooting for Oregon there. You know that type of style is going to pay off for you. Archie said you got Twitter and you might have IG. Say Alabama's about to score, Boto. Bet. All right, 3rd and 4 for the Oregon Ducks here. From their own 38. Feed it to the back, and the back's going to pick up about 3 yards there on the play, but he will be short. So now they got 4th down coming up. But anytime you call a play like that on 3rd and 4, that means that you've already made up your mind. You're going to go for it on 4th down. And that's exactly what I expect here from the Oregon Ducks. They converted last time, if not for the penalty. So they got to remain disciplined here. They cannot have a penalty mess them up this time around because that's probably the only thing that can stop them. Let's see. She says, Braden, which games are you watching right now? And Braden says Penn State and Oregon. Bet. Flipping back and forth though. All right, 4th and 1. Big 4th down here in the first quarter with 7 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Oregon Duck with the football from their own 41-yard line. Big 50 for Penn State. Runs off the field in time. 1 second. Got to snap it. They do. And they get the first down there. Picked up 2 yards in the process and a fresh set of downs to work with their first down, Oregon. And again, trying to get the first points of the game here. Both teams have had the football already. This is Oregon's second offensive possession. Last time, it was a penalty that stalled out the drive. This time, though, they were able to convert on 4th down. Was there ever really any doubt that would happen? She said, JB, you need a Red Bull fucking monster. Great to get your motor running. Oh man, all that and then some. Play fake for the Ducks. Pressure in front of them though. On the move, just had to throw that one away. Sometimes you got to live to see another down. Throws it away. Boto says, well, then again, Alabama calls the timeout and then gets a false start right afterwards. As a coach, you hate to see that happen. You absolutely hate to see that happen. Samuel says 41-34 overtime. Who scored? Was it Mississippi State that scored or was it Tennessee? And it says, yeah, Nuss doesn't look good. So right now, as this continues to go, forward there, when we're talking Heisman, give me your top 2 Heisman candidates right now at this point in the season. You guys give me your top 2. And oh man, dangerous plays here. If you're Penn State against a team like Oregon, you have to do your work early on 1st and 2nd down. And there you had an opportunity. Receiver, ball bounced off of him into the DB hands. And the DB says, wait a second, I'm not a receiver. I don't want the football. Puts it right back in the receiver hands. This is the kind of stuff you just can't make up. What should have been a big time play for Penn State turned into a mistake to where now you're looking at 3rd and 2 once again, and Oregon's going to eat you alive. You give them a 3rd and short situation here. More, gonna keep it. More. He wants more. Get the first down before he slides there. Excellent choice there. They are on Penn State side of the football here in the first quarter with 5 minutes and 55 seconds to go. Now, this is the kind of game here where every first down is gonna eat away at you as the defense there. Because these long drives. We're not talking quick scoring plays. We're talking methodical, go out there and get that first down type of thing. So absolutely great decision there by Moore. All right, first and 10, three receivers bottom of the screen here. Running back goes in motion. Quick pass. All right, try to get back to the line of scrimmage. I felt like he lost about half a yard there on the play. Let's see. Bodo says, what network is Oregon versus Penn State on? ESPN. And so this is currently on NBC. This is currently on NBC. She said Bengals versus Broncos Monday night. Bengals, Bungles. That just sounds JV Bungles. Bodo says Alabama just used their second timeout of the half. And they're still in the first quarter, correct? All right, quick pass. Puts up a couple yards there. So Scared Money, what's good? What's good? He says, what's good, JB? Good to see you streaming. It's SM. I changed my name. Oh, bet. What's good? What's good? And yeah, absolutely. You know, JB tries to get a couple of streams in, not as much as I've done in previous seasons where I would guarantee about 3 to 4 a week here. But yeah, JB's just trying to navigate here, get more energy and stuff like that. And then hopefully I'll be able to increase the streams from there. But it does feel good. JB loves his college football streams. Carry there for about a good 3 yards on the carry. So fourth down coming up. And so Oregon, they show no fear when it comes to going forward on fourth down. They believe in themselves, and for good reason. They have so many ways that they can move and get this first down here. Offensive line doing a tremendous job so far here in the first quarter. With 3 minutes and 42 seconds to go here in the first quarter, Oregon going to go ahead and roll the dice once again. Like a guy who does not know how to stop gambling, they will roll the dice here, and let's see. Will it pay off? Gets the snap. Looking, feels the pressure, on the move. Well, he got hit, but I think he's short. I think Penn State truly stopped him. He is short. So just like that, they went to the wishing well one time too many, and that time Penn State defensively got there. They had a spy. I didn't think the spy was going to get there, but excellent job there by Penn State to rush in there, get him, meet him head on, and stop his progress immediately. Wow. Who would have known that the SM stands for scared money? Like it. See, Samuel says 41-34 overtime. Yeah, who scored exactly there for that Tennessee? Let me look and see. All right, so Tennessee won 41-34. So that was Tennessee Boto that scored. So they won 41-34. They made things interesting down there in Mississippi State, but at the end of the day, Tennessee came out with a much needed victory there. They could not afford to lose that game this early in the season. And so, how is the game going? So, right now, this game, Oregon is clearly able to move the ball effectively in this one. The problem is they're not getting any points out of it, and they keep having to go for it on fourth down. And as a great coach once said, you know, if you find yourself going for it on fourth down all the time, you're not doing so great. So that's their biggest problem. They got to find a way to get some points. As for Penn State, they only had the football really one time offensively, and they wasn't able to do much with it there. So we're still going to be evaluating what they can do offensively in this one here. But they've got to put together a drive of their own because the longer their defense stays on the field against Oregon, the more of a disadvantage they'll be because they'll start to tire out all that stuff. They're on the field too long. So right now, the offense needs to put together some type of drive of their own on this one. But hey, defensive game so far in this one. I will take it. Boto says Tennessee's up 41-34. And so Brayhawk says Moore is probably the favorite for the Heisman now after Mater got injured. How bad is the injury, by the way? How bad was that injury? Because I heard he had got hurt, but I didn't follow up on it. Lewis, talk to me, Lewis. You know I got to ask you, did you take the under in this one? It seems like the kind of game that you would take the under on. Boto says yes, first quarter. Bet. She says JB is a Seahawks fan. JB is not a Seahawks fan. He's deceiving the people. But hey, I mean, I do like the Seahawks this year, especially since I have their their defense on my fantasy team. I've got Jackson Smith and Jigma on my other my money fantasy league. So yeah, I like some of the players they got also, minus Sam Darnold. JB was crying. He didn't run the ball. with Marshawn. Those were tears of joy, Braden, tears of joy. Boto said Tennessee won the game. So, yes, shout out to Tennessee. I know Laney's happy. I know that. Speaking of Laney, what's good? Brayhawk says touchdown, Alabama. What's good? Laney said, yeah, hey, JB, we won in overtime. Yeah, I was a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. I was a little nervous for you, Laney, but you guys came through and won, so I'm happy for you. Receiver goes in motion here. Penn State. Looking, drops back, throws it over the defensive player. He juggles it so many times. It really hurt him that he caught the ball there, but that was a dangerous play. A dangerous play because you don't know if Big Boy got ups or not. Because if he got up and he makes an interception, he's going to be on ESPN at least for the next 5, 6 days if he makes that interception. But Drew saw him there, still tried to complete the pass, even though there's clearly a guy in front of him. That play was not going to work. It just was not going to work. As the SM says, Ole Miss won, and hey, laying good for him. Bet, bet. All right, fake it to the back. Yeah, I mean, hey, whenever Ole Miss is in a big time matchup, more times than not, I find myself rooting for Ole Miss to actually pull off the upset. But I had actually chose LSU to win that one, but I'm happy for Ole Miss. All right, let's do. Bodo says touchdown pass Alabama, but to Bernard. Oh wow, 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 wow. Bodo says Georgia looks scared in that one. Oh man, I'm hearing a lot of stuff there. Georgia's doing bad there in that first quarter. It's funny how college football changed so much. So just a couple weeks ago, we would have assumed that okay, Bama would have lost that one, especially when they first lost to Florida State and it was extremely fresh. But now Florida State having lost to Virginia last Friday, and then Bama right now on a resurgence here, trying to put it together against UGA at UGA. We'll see how that game goes on there, but a good start there for them. Photo says, since we got a lot of college fans in here, does the Heisman Trophy really mean anything anymore? Boto, that's a great question. I'm gonna go ahead and star it here because that's a great question. Does the Heisman Trophy really mean anything anymore? To me, I always just view it as a resume builder for these college players to where it's like, hey, getting ready to go to the draft and stuff, just to be able to say I won the Heisman. That's nice to say. That's nice to say. It's something you'll always remember, but does it really, truly, honestly mean as much? I think it means a little. I think it means a little. Like I still think winning the Heisman does mean something because it's the historic behind it, the other greats to be in that same conversation. That means something. But overall to the team, obviously not. Obviously not. But it does mean a little something, I want to say. It does. So that's where JB leans with that. But I'd love to hear from someone else in terms of just how they feel about the Heisman Trophy. Does it really mean anything anymore? Because I'm telling you, y'all, if JB were to have some type of athletic career at the collegiate level and JB mess around and win the Heisman, I'm bringing that Heisman with me everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. All right, again, still at the commercial here. And for those that play fantasy football, now that we got a couple weeks in, how's everybody feeling about their fantasy football team right now? Is it currently feeling confident? Is it feeling optimistic? Are you feeling worried or concerned? Maybe injuries have just destroyed your team. See, Lewis says this should be. I mean, right now we're almost at the end of the first quarter, and we still don't have any points there, so it should be. All right, right now, 3rd and 16 here for Penn State. They're going to need something big. Snaps the ball, quarterback on the move, throws it, gets it to the back, and the back Can he do it? He's fighting. He's still fighting. He's a yard short. That was all effort there. Now, it's not enough, but will they consider going for it? I mean, they have to get something going offensively, and I feel like a first down is just what the doctor orders right now. They did an excellent job there by the running back to just plow forward, get that first. Looks like they're going to go for it here. Let's see if they actually go for it. They're going for it. He gets the first down. I was a little concerned at first. Ran into his own blocker there, but got the first down. So Penn State went for it, got the first down there. We got a minute 20 left to go here in the first quarter here. And if you're just listening in, like, hey, JB, what's going on? Like, what's the score? It is 0-0. But right now, we got a super chat from Boto coming through with the super sticker. What's good? What's good? I appreciate that, Boto. Again, Boto, the real MVP, doing JB a solid. I mean, his team did beat JB's team, but I appreciate that. Yes, I appreciate it. Let's go. With 53 seconds to go here in the first quarter of play. Two receivers, multiple tight ends, one back. Back off the right side there. Fighting forward, picks up about a good 4 yards on the carry. Going to make it second down, coming up with about 40 seconds left to go in the first quarter, but they will have to run at least one more play here in the first quarter. And they're hurrying up to the line. This time, two receivers top of the screen here, snaps the ball really quickly, tries to run it off the left side there, but Oregon makes him lose 2 yards. So he gained 4 yards, then lost 2 yards. And now we've got ourselves in a third down situation here. Can Penn State convert on third downs? That's what I need to see. Let's see. Lewis says 6 game winning streak on the line here. Well, I think you can go ahead and say this is about to get to 7, Lewis, because it's really looking that way, honestly. Barring some fireworks going off, who knows? But Zoe, what's good? What's good? Just like JB, Zoe also's got a team that's in the Big Ten that's not playing today. So this matchup right here, I'm sure he's sitting back watching to see who's the better of the two teams. But what's good? He says, my guy, that 27-point total point looking good. And so hey, you're right, you're right, you're right. I don't know what I was thinking at that time there. How many points did I say? I knew it was some crazy number that I put up there, probably in the 40s and stuff. But JB regrets it, so I do regret it. But what I don't regret though is those picks that I made for these other games, like the fight in the line they got the W that made JB feel good. Because I was a little nervous going against USC, but having fight in the line come through, that was a big time win for me. But I did lose that Ole Miss matchup versus LSU. I chose LSU in that one. And again, if I'm not mistaken, Zoe should be going live for that international matchup tomorrow for the Vikings and the who do the Vikings play tomorrow? Vikings and the Steelers, right? Vikings and Steelers, if I'm not mistaken. So just awaiting to come back for the commercial here to continue this one here and start the second quarter. Again, first quarter completely scoreless, 0-0 so far in this one. Photo says a JB, a Ricky Henderson fan because Ricky says Ricky loves JB going, JB in the third person. I do that a lot. Like I told my wife honestly, I think it was yesterday. I said I do speak in third person a lot whenever I go live. Like I don't know why I do it, but I've done it so long that I just naturally keep just speaking in third person, which is like crazy that I do it, but I do. See, Brayhawk says my pick'em is looking rough this week. How rough are we talking? How rough are we talking? Because last time I checked earlier, I was 5-1, but I know I'm at least 5-2 because of the LSU versus Ole Miss game. But other than that, I was at least off to a good start. But we'll see how the rest of this goes. I had chose Penn State in this one, just having faith in them. I did choose Notre Dame though, so RC saw himself. I did pick Notre Dame in that one. You say fast first quarter? Yeah, fast first quarter because like both of these teams, especially Oregon, when they had the football, they continuously ran, short intermediate passes there and kept that clock running. Penn State's trying to go a little up tempo here to just get some momentum going. That's really their style. But yeah, it was extremely fast first quarter. Let's see. SM says, I think the Heisman still matters. The last 8 games to win it got drafted in the top 10, and 5 of them went first overall. Ooh. So you know what? That's right. It does matter. It does matter. Being in great company. That's something that no one can ever take from you unless we're talking Reggie Bush a couple years ago. But even then, they've got to give it back at some point. So, but you're right. Just to be mentioned among other greats who have won it. Ty Simpson looking good. CSM says, JB, how is Drew Alar looking? Like, honestly, right now, when I'm looking at Drew Alar, I want to see more from him because all I'm seeing here is like, get it in the hands of the running backs, get it in the hands of the running backs. That's what I'm seeing. Like, I'm seeing beautiful touch when he tried to throw that ball to the running back on that design screen play, despite the fact the lineman was there and they ended up losing yards there. But I can see the talent, like just the raw talent. But I need to see him mentally put it together and go out there and look like a star. That's what I'm waiting to see. Have not seen it so far yet in this one, obviously, but it would be a good time to show it to me, honestly. But 3rd and 8, because that's what hurt them last year, I feel like, was Drew Alar not stepping into the superstar that he's got the ability to do. Got to put it together. But 3rd and 8, looking, feels the rush, on the move, looking, throws it. He runs like a man carrying pizza to deliver pizza, honestly. But hey, I like the completion. I like the completion. On the move there, keeping his eyes downfield. Look to him. 1st and 10, hands it to the back. I'd say he's looking okay. He hasn't made any mistakes, but he hasn't been asked to do too much just yet, SM. So we will see. Stepping back once more, JB. Welcome back again. 3, 4. SM says, to be honest, you don't like this quarterback class. I'm with you, SM. I'm with you. I'm honestly looking like if I was a team like the Saints or something like that, is there someone that I'm like in love with? Now, don't get me wrong. I do like some of the intangibles that Drew has, honestly. But in terms of just like compared to some of the other guys that I've seen in the past, probably not my favorite draft class either when it comes to the quarterbacks there, but I've seen worse. Believe me, I've seen worse. I've seen classes that have had guys like Jake Locker considered to be some of the top guys in the class or EJ Manuel. So I'll take this class over classes like that. All right, 3rd and 4, play fake. Drew on the move. What can Drew do for you? Complete. This is exactly the kind of plays that when we talk about someone like a Drew Alar, we need to see him make these kind of plays on 3rd downs. If he's going to be that guy, if he is that guy in these kind of situations, the 3rd and 4 is completely something that you should be able to get. Now, what I don't understand is when you need 4 yards, why do you have 4 targets beyond 10 yards to where everything's got to be extremely deep and stuff? Have somebody short that you can get the ball to and just get the 1st down. I don't understand that. Because now you're allowing the defense time to get pressure on you. Now you've got a 49-yard field goal attempt here for Penn State to try to give them the first points of the game. You're in the 2nd quarter with 13 minutes and 31 seconds to go. Snap is good. Hold is good. And the kick, it is right down the middle. It is good as well. Penn State gets points on the board, 3-0 in this one. I'm sure Lewis will be okay with somebody getting 3 points. Let's see. RT said JB and Braden. Now let us see Notre Dame beat a top 25 team dominant. You're asking for a lot right now, RT. You're asking for a lot. And the fact is, looking at their schedule, I don't know who would be ranked the rest of the way as of right now. Photo says, I thought they already gave it back to Reggie Bush. And so I believe they did. Yeah, I believe that they did give it back to Reggie Bush the last I heard there. So yeah, they did give it back to Reggie Bush. I see Brandon said, look good today, RC. And she says, Iowa State 22, Arizona nothing. Oh, man. Iowa State trying to put it together this season. So that's good for them. Photo says, wow, it's still the 1st quarter. And Alabama just used their last timeout. What is going on with, with the Alabama game then? If somebody can explain it. Because to me, if they burn all 3 of their timeouts, that's telling me that they're trying to prevent a lot of, miscommunications and stuff right now. And they are on the road, correct? So, yeah, they're on the road. So that crowd is getting to them if they're having to burn. But 3 timeouts in the 1st quarter, that's insane. Like, that's crazy. Crazy. He says Alabama 7, Georgia nothing. in that one. Now remember, Georgia had a slow first half against Tennessee. Second half, they came out much better prepared. So we'll see if that's going to be the case there. RC Tech, Virginia Tech 13, North Carolina State 7. Bet, bet, bet. And again, we're at commercial right now. Penn State just got 3 points on the board there. Feel like they'd had a couple opportunities slip out of their hands, but 3 points there, they will certainly take that. And when we come back, we'll see if Oregon, who has moved the ball well in this one, Oregon has shown that they can continue to run the ball. Honestly, it's just a matter of now you've got to have something to show for it. It's like logging in, like 2 weeks at work, but you've got no paycheck to show for your effort. At this point, Oregon's got to find a way to put it together and get some points on the board because they are able to move the ball against this defense. They just haven't scored any points. He says Washington State 10, Colorado State 3. All right, and somebody let JB know how many likes do we currently have right now. If you haven't pressed that like button, go ahead and press that thumbs up button. We've got the time here since we're at the commercial. RC says Boise State 14, Appalachian State 0. Okay. Brayok says Iowa State looking good. Dang. He's like, that to be Iowa right now. He's like, that to be Iowa right now. Lewis gives a thumbs up there. Bet. Oh, I know. See, says USC, but USC lost today. USC lost today, so that could knock them out the top 25, at least for now. They could obviously get back in the top 25. I don't know how many weeks before they play. They usually play late in the season, I think. So they could be a team, yeah, but USC just lost, so I wouldn't bank on that. So looking at Oregon, what will they do here offensively in this one? RC said, and those are your score updates here on the channel of JB&M Sports Fanatic. All right, so here we go. Again, second quarter, 13 minutes and 26 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Penn State up 3-0. Oregon with the football here trying to respond, seeing Penn State get some points last drive. They want to get their own points here. All right, shuffle the formation here. Gets the snap. Gonna hand it to the back off the left side. And look at that. Look at him run. Still running. Still moving. Moving and grooving to the 49-yard line, almost midfield. And see, this is exactly what we noticed there. The previous drives on first down, they picked up 6 yards on first down. So on first down, they're having great success running the ball. But here, there's nobody to be found. That first guy completely whiffs. I don't know what he was doing. He might have been texting his girl. I don't know what he was doing. But he was not focusing on the play and ultimately gave up that big run. So now second down coming up, picking up a couple of yards there on the ground. 12:42 to go here in the second quarter. Again, Penn State leading right now 3-0, but Oregon with the football having a big play 2 plays ago. Let's see if that continues. SM says BYU versus Colorado should be a good game. You think so? Because BYU's got a great defense now. BYU's got a great defense. They're pretty good. I don't know if Colorado can hang with them boys, honestly. All right, second and 6. Brayhawk says Simpson throwing strikes out there. Moore throws it. Incomplete. Third down coming up. Third down coming up. If he says Brayhawk, that Simpson sure is a homer. Pun intended. Pun intended. Baku says Penn State versus Oregon is kind of the Seattle versus the 49ers. The final score is going to be like 12-9. All it takes is one team to get into the end zone, and all of a sudden, it'll wake up these two teams a little bit. Quick pass there, and brought down at about the 44-yard line. Fourth down coming up. So 12:02 to go here in the second quarter. And Oregon has shown that they will continuously go forward on fourth down. That is their theme. It says, thanks, bet. It says, Makai Lemon is nice. That's a fact. That's a fact. As I said, I see 9 of them. All right, so 8-9. All right, 4th and 2. Oregon looking once again, throws it, gets to the receiver there for the easy first down. That time, the guy who was in his zone chose to follow the running back, left him wide open, got the first down there. Excellent job. All right, 1st and 10. Gets the snap here. Looking, throws it. Incomplete. Just overthrew the back there. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Oregon Ducks. Again, Penn State leading right now 3-0 here in the second quarter, 11:09. Again, if you are Penn State, I said it before. Okay, that ball was actually tipped, like got a finger on it, which changed the trajectory of the ball on that play. See, Jayhawk says, RC, that was a 10 out of 10 dad joke. Yes. All right, 2nd and 10. Feeds it to the back off the left side. Picks up a couple, about 2 yards in the play. 3rd down coming up. All right, 10:54 here in a second. All right, so 3rd and 8 coming up right now. If I'm Penn State, I'm bringing pressure. If I can sack them, then I can go ahead and prevent them going forward on 4th down. And you have to be aggressive thinking that way. And also, don't let them run by you. If I'm Oregon, hey, use those legs if you got to, but get that 1st down. I guess a snap here on the move. He's using his legs here. He tucks it to run. He's going to be about a yard and a half, 2 yards shy of that 1st down marker. And you know what Oregon wants to do. Let's see. RC says, well, at least Iowa, well, at least we kept the score respectable. We just never, ever had enough necessary offense to win. But I mean, if somebody believes in moral victories here, that was a moral win. We don't do moral victories, RC, but I feel what you're saying, though, honestly. All right, so now 47-yard field goal attempt coming up by the Oregon Ducks here. They decided they want to just go ahead and go for the points right now to try to tie this one up. Let's see if the Ducks can tie it up. Snap is good, hold is good, but the kick is anything but good. I think he missed it. I believe he missed it. The angle I got, he did miss it. So Oregon leaving points on the table. Once again, what good is it to fill the stat sheet if you're not going to come away with any points here? I can't explain it. I mean, I'm surprised Oregon didn't just go ahead and go for it. They've been doing such a good job on 4th down anyways. They honestly could have got it on 4th down. I feel like if they would have went for it, but they tried to go for 3 points there. I can certainly understand that, but you don't like the results that you got. Missing a field goal in a game like this, where honestly, if you didn't look at the scoreboard and you just looked at the stats, the numbers so far in this one, you would have thought if somebody was up 3-0, it would have been the Oregon Ducks, the way that they've been able to move the ball there. But they're leaving too many opportunities right now for Penn State, and that could potentially catch up to them there again. Oregon is showing that they could have I think they could have gone for it on 4th down and got it there, but ultimately missed the field goal. We'll see more of Penn State when we come back here from the commercial and see how this one is playing out in this one. But let's compare these two teams real fast here when it comes to these stats so far here. So we're in the second quarter here, about 9 minutes, 36 seconds to go here before halftime. We'll start with Oregon. So Dante Moore in this one, 7 of 11 for 36 yards passing for this one. Again, no touchdown passes, no interceptions there, but he's got 36 yards passing. He's also got 4 carries for 13 yards rushing so far in this one. Meanwhile, for Penn State, Drew Alar, 3 of 5 for 20 yards passing in this one. No rushing attempts whatsoever. So that's all we got from him. Now, I hear about how great he is, and I want to believe in the kid. I do want to believe in Drew Alar as a prospect, at the next level there. His ability, I know he's got the ability there, but there comes a point in time where every great guy has to have a moment in his collegiate football career where he just takes over the game and looks at the team and says, hey, I got you guys. I'm going to take it to the next level. I need to see that from Drew Alar. I really need to see that from him where he has a moment where he's like, hey, I'm gonna take over here. I'm gonna take over. All right, now let me catch up on the chat since we're at the commercial here. Bodo says Oregon must be watching too many Lion games. For real. Or she said, JB, you ever had a don't hit send or don't upload that video moment? That was you last night, you say? I was about to be really disrespectful because I was so mad about the end of the game between the Lynx and Mercury. And so you know what? No, I haven't had that moment that yet because I don't do too many videos there. For me, it's usually the I press upload only to realize there's no audio moment, unfortunately. Photo says touchdown Alabama to Horton. So Alabama's up 14-0. That's crazy, guys. That's crazy. Let's see if Georgia can respond in that one. But right now, all Alabama. Wow. Greyhawk says touchdown Bama. Bodo says, sorry, that's past not his stupid voice to text. Doesn't like my southern accent. I got you. I got you. It does the same thing to Mr. JB, my father. It does the same thing to him. All right, so here we go back to the game here. Alar, pressure, and they get him for the sack. Oh my goodness, look like they're mugging him the way that they're holding him like that. But they got him for the sack. Second down coming up here. So this is going to be second and long. This is not what the doctor ordered on first down. That time felt the pressure and they closed in on him. She said, JB, okay, yeah, like Braden and Bama, like Braden said, Bama 14, Georgia 0. Bama, keep it coming. I'll say. Lewis is laughing. He's taking a shot for that. He is happy right now. He took the under in this game, guys, and he is happy. This is why he can afford all those trips to Vegas. I'm telling you. Second and 12. Tosses it to the back here and takes on the contact, picks up some nice yards there. Okay, about a good 5 yards there, 5-6. Third down coming up, though. So on third down, JB said it earlier. Can Penn State convert on third down? That's the question I have for them on third down. Converting on third downs is so critical for them. Diamond says Oregon versus Penn State game. Final score. You think it's going to be 37-30? So you think it's going to be an avalanche of scoring coming up? I hear you. Archie said Drew Alar. No. Drew fall hard, JB. Let's see. Braden says, honestly, hope Bama wins. Wow. 2 years ago, you guys would not have been saying that at all. All right. Third and 7. Oh, feels the rush right in front of him. There's nothing he can do. He tries to make that throw, but honestly, it just didn't work. So excellent job by Oregon. Oregon does what I've been telling Penn State what they need to do on third down. They bring in pressure on third down and making sure that Alar is uncomfortable in that pocket. Lewis says Indiana versus Iowa was easy under. Yes. All right, let's see. She says, JB, I already did a live stream last night where I had to censor all my profanity. You had profanity free channel, but you were mad. And so, oh man. Hey, sometimes it just comes out, doesn't it? Sometimes it just comes out. Braden says, oh, Alar. I mean, honestly, guys, think about all the prospects that we thought we knew coming into this season, guys. Like we really thought that, whether it was Arch Manning, these prospects that we thought were going to have such a big start to the year. I know it's early. So much can change and will change between now and by the time we're in late November, early December, January, all that stuff. But right now, some of these prospects they need to wake up. Like wake up for real. K Club Nick, another one that I thought was going to actually have a pretty good season, but man, Clemson season down the drain. A lot of craziness early on in the season. That's all I can say. Photo says touchdown Georgia. Is that true? Georgia scored a touchdown there, guys? Wow. Okay, so that would make it like 14-7 there. So Georgia's waking up there. Okay, okay. And again, it's a shame that they put both games on at the same time, so I can't, you know, stream both games. And I figure a lot of people are going to be doing the Georgia game, so I went ahead and chose Penn State, Oregon. I'm a Big Ten guy myself, so Photo said 38-yard touchdown pass to Young. Braden says, well, Nick Saban is gone. That's right. He's not walking through those doors. Georgia strikes back. Let's see. I'm not too far from the comments here. Okay. Archie said, JBC, the problem was I was calling a Phoenix Mercury player. Ooh, I got you there. So I was like, yeah, I probably should not release this. So you scrapped it. So yeah, good call to scrap that one. Braden says they needed that. Yes. Ooh, SM says, JB, what are your expectations for Jackson Dart? Honestly, I like Jackson Dart, and you guys know anybody that's known JB for probably longer than a year knows that JB despises the Giants and everything that the Giants touch. But I do like Jackson Dart. I think he's going to do great things, but will it happen immediately? I say let's hold caution at first because the Chargers defense is going to be a tough defense. Playing the Eagles 2 times out of the span of 3 weeks, that's going to be really tough as well. So the first 4 starts for him might not be that pretty, but by the time we reach the end of the season, like, like the last, let's say, quarter of the season, I think he's gonna show a lot of potential for next year to make it to where you'll be excited for him next year. I think he's got the it factor that it takes to be a quarterback in this league. I do believe that. I wasn't too fond of him during the draft process in comparison to other quarterbacks, but I haven't seen what I've seen from him so far. I do believe in him. I do believe that he's going to do a good job. So I say caution at first because he's got a tough schedule against some tough defenses. But after that, hey, sky's the limit. I see. Brittany says, what Dart needs to do is get the ball in neighbors' hands and good things will happen. Right. You sound like somebody that's got Malik Neighbors on your fantasy team, Braden. Is that true? Do you have Malik Neighbors on your fantasy team? But nah, whenever there's a matchup that they can expose, I think he will expose it. All right, so back to the game here. Oregon from their own 25-yard line here. Gets the snap, throws it, gets the completion there, picks up about a good 8 yards on the play before he goes out of bounds here. Again, second quarter with 7:51 to go here in the second quarter before halftime. Again, Penn State up 3-0. But Oregon, they are tired of sitting on zero here. Can they finally put it together and get some points? Last time they missed the field goal. Runs it up the middle, gets the first down, takes it all the way to about the 41-yard line. Braden says, no, you don't. Okay, I was just checking there, Braden. I was just checking. I was just checking. System says Dart over McCarthy. I agree. I agree. The handoff merchant. I do believe the handoff merchant in McCarthy does have a lot of talent around him, and he has a great coach, great system. So he's got a better system currently in place right now, so that will help him. But overall, when their careers are all said and done, Dart over McCarthy. I'm with you. Second and 10 coming up. All right, 7:15 to go here in the second quarter. 5 seconds on the play clock. Snaps it to the back, who eludes the first guy, jumps back from the second guy, stiff arms the third guy, and takes on that contact of the fourth guy. All that for 3 yards. But hey, you got to do what it do. As JB like to say, make it do what it do. That was a nice job making 44 miss. Let's see. Bodo says, I was just shocked that they started Russell Wilson. I had to put up with his butt in Pittsburgh. I realized we went to the playoffs and we got destroyed. But what about Jameis Winston? I feel like because the coaching staff job is on the line, they wasn't going to give Jameis Winston a chance because Jameis doesn't protect the ball. These coaches, they like to make themselves believe that Russell Wilson's going to protect the ball, which is not always the case, but they like to make themselves believe with his veteran leadership, Super Bowl ring, blah, 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 that he's going to go in there and play it safe, and which sometimes he does, but at the same time, he plays it too safe. On the fourth down, who throws the ball away? Like, really, who throws the ball away? But that's what Russ does. But Jameis, he gonna throw it regardless, irregardless. Like if I have Malik Neighbors on my fantasy team, yes, I want Jameis in there. If I'm a Giants fan, do I want Jameis in there? Not necessarily. Not necessarily, because with the good, it's going to come the bad. He's going to go out there, throw you 2 touchdowns, throw you 4 interceptions. That's going to hurt you more than it's going to help you. All right, throws it and gets the big completion on 4th and 1. I like the gutsiness. Play fake, find your receiver downfield. This is a team that said, hey, we've got to go ahead and we got to get a couple of chunk plays here and there. And why not? Penn State all in for the short. Look at that. Everybody came up. So that was an excellent play call. You just got to trust your guys to make that play. And that's what it's all about. So we'll say that. But yeah, it's like they never learn, they never learn at all. Photo says, well, he did complete the pass to the field goal. All right, shotgun formation, runs it up the middle here, fighting forward, picks up 6 yards on the play. 5 minutes left to go here before we reach halftime. Penn State up 3-0 currently right now, but Oregon with the football. 2nd and 4, looking for their first points of the game. But yeah, Brian the Ball knows his job is really on the line. He can sense it and he's feeling it. That's exactly why he inserted Jackson Dart as that last Hail Mary heave. All right, run play to the left side there, and oh, Penn State was ready for it. Not today. Yeah, Davidson's got to pick up somebody sooner than that. You just can't be running free and you don't touch anybody till the running back's already tackled. All right, but 3rd and 4 here with 4:04 to go here in the second quarter of play. Big third down here for the Oregon Ducks. Receiver goes in motion, snaps it, has time, throws it, incomplete, incomplete. 4th down coming up. Receiver just stopped running on that one as well. 4th down coming up. Yeah, time it just wasn't there. Deboto says, I think he's gone no matter what. Being a bad dog stream all the time. Giants fans hate the bull. They do hate him. They do hate him. And I can't blame him. I mean, he has to go. He has to go. I feel like he does have to go. All right, field goal attempt this time. It is good. All right, so we're all tied up 3-3 here in the second quarter with about 3 minutes and 42 seconds to go. So I don't know what it was in the water today for the Big Ten, but a lot of these Big Ten teams having slow offensive halves here. But Oregon finally gets 3 points to tie it up. Bodo says Georgia just fumbled the ball at the 9 yard line. Alabama recovers. Ooh, whose 9 yard line? Was it from Georgia's own 9 yard line or from Alabama's 9 yard line? But man, that's massive. Believe me, I know. I watched my own team fumble the ball too many times for my liking. Let's see. Brayhawk says it makes it worse that Indiana Jones is looking good. I mean, yeah, not just him. Obviously, we all know that Saquon Barkley was great. Eagles took it to another level. And then you're like, okay, well, Saquon, we understand that. But then Daniel Jones goes to Indianapolis and he balls out too. It's like, wait a minute, we have both of those guys on our team. Like the way that they're looking right now, imagine this year, both of them on the same team with a coach who knows how to bring out their full potential. Like, but nah, the Giants didn't do that at all. At all. Instead, it was quite the opposite. I remember Daniel Jones was my favorite quarterback to take the under on because every time Daniel Jones would, start the game, the Giants would end up benching them in the first quarter, second quarter. Like they would have him benched by the third quarter. And it was like repetitively start him, bench him, start him, bench him. I got to give Indiana Jones his credit, to go out there and still keep his confidence. Now, I know he had to go to Minnesota for a little year, get a little rehabilitation going and stuff, get your confidence back. But to not be broken after a team repeatedly starts you, sits you, and stuff like that, and just keep playing with your mental like that, it takes a strong person to come back from stuff like that. Samuel says, hey, you JB NCAA College National Championship game live stream on January Monday, 2026. And so, hey, that's the goal. A lot of time between now and then, but that is JB's goal because this time JB will not be making a trip to the Philippines this year. That'll probably be a next year type of trip there. So I should be able to stream some games that I normally don't get to. Boto says if he keep it up, if he wins the next game, he has to be MVP favorite Indiana James. They're able to win the next game, especially against a team like the Rams, and he goes out there and gets, like let's just say 2 rushing touchdowns, throws for one, something like that. Then hey, why not? Why not? Definitely got to be in the conversation. Definitely got to be in that conversation as of right now, because like who else are we going to put up there right now? Everybody else is struggling bad, but he's out there balling. So why not? It would be so interesting if both him and their running back, for some reason I can't think, Jonathan Taylor, if they won like co MVPs, like to have teammates win co MVP. Would that not be insane if we had like teammates that would actually end up winning co-MVPs together. That would be truly insane. Next turn. He said, JB, sometimes I get too passionate about players on the WNBA teams I like. You say, JB, did you see the play? It was a late game. Mercury up four, and Alyssa Thomas stole the ball but fouled free, and it was a no call. You said late in the game because I saw early in the game they were not calling any fouls against her. So I watched a lot of that early one until JB's parlay slip messed up, and JB got mad and turned the channel when that happened because JB was so close. But so I didn't finish it because of that reason. All right, here we go. 3-3. From their own 25-yard line. Up, quarterback in motion out there. Running back takes a direct snap, fighting for a yard. Picked up a yard on the play. We got 3 minutes and 33 seconds left to go here in the second quarter of play. We're all tied up 3-3 in this one. Boda said, I saw that RC, but their coach was got mad, yeah, and got kicked out of the game. So they actually kicked out the game then. Okay. All right, here we go, guys. With 3:10 to go here before halftime, both teams have all three of their timeouts in this one. Third and two coming up. I see Bama's up 17-7 in their matchup. But yeah, these quarters are going by fast in this game. RC said, then the coach lost all her marbles, JB. He was hot and I was fired up too. Oh man. I can imagine if RC was at the game live, they would have had to escort RC out the arena as well. And then he'd have to release a statement apologizing. Drew kept the ball there, got the first down. Okay. Excellent job there. He made the right decision. He kept it as long as he could and then pulled it back. Because if he gives it to the guy going in motion there, they probably don't get that first. First and 10, 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Three receivers, one tight end, one back. He says, Bodo, when she got suspended for the next game, I'm surprised, but she was. So she got suspended for the next game. Oh, wow. Really? That's kind of harsh, especially in a playoff. All right, 2 minute mark, guys. So 2 minutes. And again, we're all tied up 3-3 in this one. Braden says Georgia holds Bama to a field goal. So it's 17-7. Darcy said, JB, the local live NFL telecasts are completely boo boo, man. You said they're showing trash games here tomorrow, I think. Oh, man. Bodo said, yeah, I saw she got suspended for the next game. That's kind of BS for the playoffs. Yeah, that's why I'm confused. I'm like, we're talking about the playoffs here. Playoffs. Like, if it's a regular season, you want to do that stuff, okay. But it's the playoffs. They're going to be passionate. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So, I mean, you already ejected her. That right there should be the punishment already. Like, come on now. Come on. I hate when that happened because I remember back during the NBA with the whole, Warriors versus Cavaliers stuff, and then you go ahead and you suspend a guy. Then all of a sudden, once he comes back, it's too late. The other team's already got the momentum now. These are both the two best teams in the league. So you're going to suspend somebody for a game, then they come back. No, it doesn't just work that way. Like, I truly believe that they changed the outcome of that series. I'm sure Braden can attest to that. He said 3-3, JB. You picked two out of You picked two all out of offensive juggernaut systems. And so, yeah, 3-3. But we'll see what the second half has. This has been a very entertaining 3-3 matchup. I will say that. Samuel says, hey, you, JB, I think on a live stream on February during the Super Bowl there. So that's certainly the goal. Certainly the goal. RC said, I really don't like Phoenix at all, photo, and I don't like this year's version of the Aces either. So if they're both advanced, I might have to sit out the finals, which is odd because you're an Ace fan. Absolutely, that would be odd there for sure. Arthur said, well, something like an Ace fan. My man's about to migrate away from him. As Hiboto said, I've been in a hotel in Dallas for 3 months now because I broke a bone in your ankle. Fortunately, the hotel has red zone for free. so I don't have to worry about the games that are showing. So, oh man, really? Well, the free part sounds nice, man, but the ankle's taking more than 3 months to heal. How long is it projected to take before you're fully healed, Boto? Oh man, but yeah, must be a nice hotel too. But 3 months? That's a long time. As he said, JB, the players on both teams were chirping and bumping each other most of the game. I saw that at the beginning. Like that was one thing that I noticed immediately because I told my wife, who was casually watching, not watching, I said they're gonna bust out into an altercation in this game. I can tell by how aggressive they're being towards each other and how tippy that they're being. All right, run play here on second down. They lose yards to make it a long third and long situation here. So now, if I'm Oregon, you call timeout, save some time here, and the timeout is called. Lewis said, "How about them Bears?" And Williams balled out. You hear that, RC? He wants to talk about his Bears, how they did your Cowboys, man. How does that make you feel, RC? But yeah, I mean, hey, shout out to Caleb Williams there. Romo Dunez is doing really good. I'm happy to see him step up this year. That was definitely much needed to see him step up, honestly. I'm a little irked though that Keenan Allen was able to go back to the Chargers and just pick up where he left off at, mostly for fantasy football purposes. Till my rival picked him up. But aside from that, though, he's looking much better with the Chargers than he did last year with the Bears. Lewis said, and the Packers lost. That is right. Yeah, I had to message Braden after it happened. Had to check on him. I had to make sure he was good. You know, had to make sure he was good. All right, so 3rd and 8 coming up right now. Can Penn State get a first down here and keep the drive going? You really, if you're Penn State, you don't want to punt the ball and give Oregon a minute 40 and 2 timeouts to work with. Well, let's see. Drew Alar, can he make a play on 3rd and 8? Receiver goes in motion. They're bringing the pressure. He almost slipped through this one. Somehow, Drew was able to get the first down despite the fact that he was slipping and sliding out there, but he got the first. Now he's got to hurry up, got to assemble the troops here. A minute 33. Referee puts the football down. They're lining up here in the shotgun here. Two running backs, one tight end, two receivers. And wait a minute, there's a flag here. I see that they threw a flag here. What's going on? What's going on? Meanwhile, RC said, JB, if I was at the game, I would have only thrown both water coolers on the court. So you would have kept it casual. I feel you, RC. I got you. Oh, man. So there was early movement there. And Drew Allard is frustrated right now because he knows how important it is right now that they drive down there and they cannot afford a mistake that's going to push them back 5 yards. They just can't afford it. After he made a tremendous play on 3rd down, slipping and sliding and still slinging it down there. Look at that replay there. My man lost his entire foot on the play and still put the ball where he needed to be. That's what I talk about when I say that he's got that natural talent. I just need to see them put them together in a Superman kind of way. Now, Drew looking complete, incomplete, incomplete. So 2nd and 15 coming up here. So with a minute 25 left to go here before halftime. And again, we're all tied up right now, 3-3 between Penn State and Oregon. And so he tried to pass that one around the hand of the D lineman there. Honestly, he should have got that one. The ball did hit him there on the shoulder. He should have caught that one. That would have been a big time catch there for Penn State. But now 2nd and 15 here. And again, let JB know in the chat who you're rooting for here. Let's see, Bodo said you got surgery on Wednesday. Well, best of luck there with that surgery, Bodo. Certainly let me know how that surgery goes. All right, 2nd and 15. Drew looking, throws it deep, incomplete. So 3rd down coming up. 3rd and 15 here for Penn State. Again, here in the second quarter with a minute and 20 seconds to go. And we're tied up 3-3 between Oregon and Penn State. Bodo says he tore a major ligament in his ankle and his foot got a minor tear. Sorry to hear that, Bodo. Definitely wishing a speedy recovery, man. But man, that was a long time to have to recover from that. All right, so here we go, guys. 3rd and 15. This is big for both teams because if you're rooting for Oregon, you know what an incompletion means for you. The ball is at the 49-yard line here of Penn State. So a first down would be massive here. Let's see what they do. Snaps the ball. Drew throws it up there. Incomplete. Incomplete. He didn't have as much time to wait for that play to develop. So all he could do is just throw it out there and hope that this guy can get to the ball there. But incomplete. So now, if you're Oregon, you've got yourself an opportunity here. The defense did their job. So now you're hoping special team can get you in a great field position here and then set you up for success. Because all you really want if you're Oregon, yes, you want a touchdown, but even a field goal gives you the lead in this one before halftime, and they want the lead before halftime. But first things first, punt on the way. Let's see, gets it from the 9-yard line, and that is exactly where Oregon will take over there. So great job by Penn State, pinning them inside the 10-yard line. All right, so let's see. Samuel says, "How you, JB, moving yet on live stream on in April there?" So the goal is April, Samuel, but I should know closer to around that February, March timeframe. RC said, "No disrespect to Big Lewis, but I don't want to see the Bears versus Raiders. I want to see the Colts versus the Rams. I will definitely be tuned in for Rhinos Colts versus Rams stream since he streams all the Colt games." You know what? I hadn't paid attention if he was streaming all the Colt games. All right, guys. So here we go. 107 to go here in the second quarter. I'll have to catch up on the chat during halftime, guys. But here we go. 107. Snaps the ball. Moore throws it. Gets the completion at about that 7-yard line there. So now second down coming up. You got a minute to work with here. Need to see more sense of urgency here because we got a little ways to go here. 53 seconds. Gets the snap. Moore throws it to the back at the backfield. All right, gets the first down. That's exactly what you want here. 47 seconds here. Let's see if they can get another play here before having to call a timeout. And again, they don't want to call a timeout here. They want to get a little further downfield here just to make sure and play it safe. So that way, if Penn State does get the ball, there's not a lot of time. Snapped it. Throws it to the right sideline. Gets the completion. Receiver goes out of bounds. More to more for the first down. All right, 37 seconds left to work with. You still got 2 timeouts right now. So if you're Oregon, this is exactly what you needed right now. Boto said, "I'll be good most of the time. I'm high on either steroids or pain pills." Oh, man, Boto, you've been going through it, man. That's like more than 90 days right there. You've been going through it. Esam said, "JB Dublin stream tomorrow." So, well, I know that Zoe will be doing that one tomorrow. All right, here we go. Play fake. Looking on the move. There's a flag already. The referee threw a flag here. So the completion there, but this is probably not going to count there because the referee threw it. Is probably holding on the offense. Again, 28 seconds left to go here before halftime. Let's see what the referee says. It's going to come back. That's going to come back. Holding number 76. Bodo said, "Georgia about to score." Oh, man. Because they're like right before halftime as well. Oh, man. 76 wasn't just holding. 76 was getting buried right there. He was holding on for dear life. Oh, man. All right, here we go. First and 15, shotgun formation here. 4 receivers on the play, 1 running back. Again, 28 seconds to work with here from their own 28-yard line for the Oregon Ducks. Shotgun formation. Gets the snap. Penn State sends 4. Moore throws it. Incomplete. Incomplete. So now, second and what feels like forever here. Second and 20. Let's see what they call with 24 seconds to work with. As he said, "JB, we stink. The Cowboys defense stinks. Couldn't guard a bank with unlimited artillery and unlimited ammo." Oh, man. Braden said, "It was so fun last week. Haha." Oh, Braden. I felt bad for you, Braden, because I've experienced that too much lately. So I really felt bad for you. All right, second and 20. Throws it, gets the completion, brought down inbound. 16 seconds here. And again, with third down there, 10 seconds. Will they even try to run another play here? To just let that clock run. So I see the clock stopped here. So did they really just wait for like 6 seconds and then stop the clock? That's exactly what happened. Timeout there for Oregon, their second timeout. They're going to add 3 more seconds there to the clock. All right, so ultimately they want to go ahead and run one more play because if they don't get it, they don't have to really worry too much if they don't get it. But if they do get a big chunk here and set them up with a field goal attempt, that's ultimately the goal right there. So that's why they waited to 9 seconds to do that. Like you said, SM Steelers who versus who? Lewis said easy prediction. Dallas was not winning in Chicago. That was not going to happen. So 3rd and 13. Let's see what the Oregon Ducks do here. Let's see. Braden said, time to move on and win in Lambeau. Bet. All right, so 3rd and 13 for the Oregon Ducks. What will they run here? They've got one timeout to work with and 9 seconds on the clock. They snap the ball. Moore throws it short, gets the completion. Back has got to do something. Stays in bounce there. Still out of bounce there. 2 seconds. Clock runs out. Should be halftime here. All right, so that's going to go ahead and take us to halftime. And again, we're all tied up 3-3. And when we come back, it will be the third quarter in this one. Let's go ahead and get JB caught up here on some of the comments now. Bodo said you picked the Vikings to win the game, and your pick, you're sitting at 96%. So you got to be realistic there. So, man, Bodo. But you know what? Yeah, I had to pick the Vikings as well because that game that they did against the Bengals, I had picked the Bengals to win that one. And in hindsight, I don't know what I was thinking, but man, that was a terrible decision on me. So I said, yeah, I'm picking Minnesota this week. If they fall apart, I just got to see it. But Carson Wentz and company, they'll probably get the W here. That's what she said. Drayden, now watch. We almost beat y'all. Wait, what the time the game is Sunday? Game tomorrow. The Packers versus the boys. And what time? Yeah, what time is that game tomorrow? She said if someone can develop Allard to right, yeah, if someone can develop him, he could be less mobile. Justin Herbert, you say. I see the tools. So when I see the tools, he has to go to a good situation. I'm not talking about go to a team that right now they're dead in the water offensively. Saints or something like that. No, he's got to go to a situation where there's a lot of talent already there. There's a coach that can really develop him. That's what he needs, honestly, at the next level in order to truly reach his potential. And give him a couple years there, because when Josh Allen first got started, it wasn't there at first. But give him a couple years, and I feel like he can reach that point there. He certainly has that potential. Thibodeau says Georgia goes for it on 4th down and 3, and they do not make it. Never mind holding against Alabama. So penalties will do it. Penalties will do it. Absolutely. But again, if you're just listening in or tuning in, we are at halftime right now. So no worries. We have not missed anything. The score right now is 3-3 as of right now in this matchup here. So it's been a defensive game, but something tells me in the second half, we'll see a little bit more scoring, I feel like, in the second half. JB's not one to put a guarantee about the second half. That's almost a JB guarantee. We'll see a lot more scoring in the second half. I would like to think. RC said JB and Braden Drew Allard is going to be a goodwill Justin Herbert. Good old Justin Herbert. And then see Samuel says prayers for Boto to feel better. Yes, absolutely. RC said, yeah, JB. You said JB, yeah, Rhino is a Colts fan. And so I figured that's why he's always wearing that Colts jersey. So I anticipated that had to be the reason why. RC said, if we don't stop commenting in the chat, JB is going to be reading chat longer than OJ Simpson's criminal rap sheet. Oh, man, RC. Boto said, thank you, Samuel. Yeah, if I don't get the surgery done, it will just keep re-injuring, and I can't be doing that as a truck driver. And so, Bodo, I didn't realize you was a truck driver. You said I could be out in the middle of nowhere next time. And so, oh man, yeah, definitely when you have an injury like that, it's better to just go ahead, tackle it all now, get that thing fixed so it doesn't just keep reoccurring there. So that way, when you're back there, you're fully recovered there. Absolutely, because man, you've been sitting there for 3 months now having to go through that. So I feel you. Let's see, Braden said, honestly, probably RC. Thibodeau says touchdown, Georgia, 3-yard run, Bowen. So they got a little touchdown there. So again, that score is 17-14. Okay, with Bama on top. Brayhawk says Georgia back in it. And he says Bama pulling a TCU. Raiden says JB is way behind. Come on now. Lewis said two good picks for tomorrow. The Giants plus 7.5 and Dallas 7.75. SM said I can see the Rams drafting Alar. Now that would be tremendous. And you know what? With Sean McVay and company, I could see them being aggressive to identify him because I feel like all he needs is to know like he has the tools and then go get them. So I could see that as well. I really can. That would be perfect for him. Perfect for him. Photo says, has that game been a defensive game or an offensive struggle? I'm gonna say it's been honestly, I want to say a defensive game, but the offenses are moving the ball. They're just sputtering, but it's not that they're making turnovers. So it's really tricky. So I'm gonna say defensive game, honestly, but the offenses are not really necessarily making mistakes. It's just in key situations when they have to make plays to score, they're just for whatever reason not scoring. Rayhawk says, was honestly impressed by Ohio State today, even though I really wanted you guys to lose. Kept a very underrated Washington team that has a great quarterback out of the end zone. Defense was certainly impressive. I'm not gonna lie, the defense indeed was impressive there. And the offense, I knew that we were gonna come into the game, be a little bit more conservative there just by what Ryan Day said to Julian Sayers like during the week of practice when I was listening. He was like, hey, just go out there with the same mindset you had against Texas. We're just looking to come out here and do enough to get the victory offensively. So when he said that, that told me like, okay, he's going to diet back here. He's still waiting to see something from Julian saying before he throws the kid into the fire there. Just do enough. Don't make turnovers that's going to hurt us. And that's exactly what Julian is saying done. Julian is just taking his word. And when the coach says, don't turn the ball over, he is going to go out there and just not be as aggressive and just protect the football. And that's exactly what took place there. Second half, though, they finally pulled it together there. So made JB a little antsy in the first half, but I like the second half a lot better. Lewis says Bears and Raiders should hit under 50. Bet, bet, bet. Let's see how far it did. JB's not too far there behind. So okay. So JB's just gonna step away for like 1 minute, well, 2 minutes, and then JB will be right back. But I gotta step away for 1 minute, but JB will be right back. His opinion looked like a first rounder. I would say Alar has first round talent, and potential. But for me, I mean, obviously, it's gonna come down to, some of the other kids there, but he's someone that I would feel like if you're a situation like, the Rams were mentioned earlier and stuff like that, where you feel confident that you've got the pieces around you and you just need that one guy with that big potential that could be that guy, he's certainly someone that you can spend a first on, in my opinion, in terms of just developing. So I would go ahead and say yes, but if you're a team that's struggling, don't do it. Like, I mean, like, if you're a team that's just far away, don't waste the kid's career because it's going to take so long to rebuild. But I would say yes, a situation like that. Even a team like, the Pittsburgh Steelers, long term, I could see that being a good situation as well for him because I believe the Steelers organization will do what's necessary to put the pieces around him as long as he's got the talent to, work out. So I would say yes. All right, let's see. It says, hope you recover well, Boto. Anya says, hey, JB, why you moving? JB's got to move. I'm not an NPC player. JB's got to move. Bodo said, so do I. JB, you said, I'm sick and I'm tired of using a walker and I'm just getting fat sitting in the hotel room on the bed. I can't get proper exercise. Exercise is so important for JB, just the daily struggles of, like getting through with diabetes and stuff like that. Exercise is so critical for me. Typically throughout the weekday, about 4 times throughout the week, JB will go work out for maybe about depends how much time I have after I drop off my wife from work. So maybe it might be 15 minutes to work out before I hit the treadmill for an hour. Could be 20, 25, 30 minutes, something like that of working out before actually hitting the treadmill. Although lately it's been more along the lines of about 15. So I got to up it again. But yeah, that exercise can be a game changer, honestly, because when I don't, my energy levels just deplete like completely. As the artist said, JB, which team will come close to missing them, but will make the playoffs for sure? So, which team will come close, but not quite make it to the playoffs, is what you're saying, of these teams? Well, all right. So, it won't be the Cowboys. They won't be close. Falcons have a lot of questions right now. A lot of questions. I don't know what to say right now for them. They're a little lost right now. Commanders can still get in there. Steelers do a good job of, despite everything, they'll find a way. So, of these 4 teams, given the circumstance, I guess I got to go and say Atlanta because I feel like Commanders will find a way to be in the playoffs. Steelers will find some way, somehow, to get there. If not, they'll be the perfect one. But I'm going to go ahead and bet, since they always do it, that they'll find a way again this year. But the Cowboys, it won't be close. Falcons, it can be close. So I'll say Falcons. See. It says JB will be back in a minute. Brandon says that play call in the first touchdown was great to Jeremiah Smith. Yeah, I was like, it's about time. It is about time. And so, but man, Boto, I mean, do you like the hotel? Is the hotel nice? Because if I'm sitting in a hotel for 3 months, it better be real nice. Like, otherwise, it's gonna irk JB. But you mentioned free red zone. That's a good benefit there. Braden says Jeopardy song plays. Come on now, Braden. Don't do that to your boy. I wasn't going that long. Let's see, as you said, Braden Cardi B song outside plays loudly in the chat. Bodo says, chair now is the time. Go for you to do like wow. Don't give it any ideas, Bodo. Really. Don't do it. It might pull a RC and it might drop JB while live. So don't do that. See, Braden says, sorry to hear that, Bodo. That sucks. Let's see. CRC says South Carolina 28, Kentucky 10. And again, guys, we're still here at halftime, so we are not missing anything in this one. It is 3-3 here. Looks like that Bama Georgia game is almost at halftime at 17-14 in that one. Let's see. Oh man, I see the BYU and Colorado game is a late game. A little too late for JV possibly. Let's see. Arizona State over TCU this week, 27-24. Let's see. Braden says keep moving. Simon says, "Hey JB, moving to New York City. You will not find JB in New York City. That is one of JB's places where JB will not move to New York City." Because he said Iowa State 29, Arizona 7. Oh man. And then Boise State 124-7. Southern Mississippi 128. Jacksonville State 11. She said North Carolina State 14, Virginia Tech 13, third quarter. 3 minutes left to go in that one. What is it with Virginia Tech and Old Dominion? I have no idea why they continue to play each other, but Old Dominion has a Dominion over Virginia Tech, and they just can't take these guys. Absolutely. See, Bruno says, I'm a with a pass to the O lineman. To the O lineman. Aren't we getting creative there? So, Joey, what's good, Joey? How are we doing today? How are we doing today? And you said, should have kept out, sorry, AK. And so, what's good? As he said, Missouri State 16, Western Kentucky 10, and Washington State 20, Colorado State 3. I didn't know Washington State was playing right now. Greyhawk says almost a touchdown. Gee, touchdown, Bama. Photo says, yeah, 360-pound offensive lineman. Are you serious? 360-pound offensive lineman out there getting getting open? I mean, JB can stick with him. I don't know what I'm gonna do if they throw him the ball though, and he actually gets his hands on the ball. I'm sure not gonna tackle him, but I can stick with him. That's crazy. 24 to 14. How much time left before halftime? It can't be that much time remaining. It's got to be like a couple seconds, I would imagine. And RC said, those are your college football scores here on the sports channel of JB&M Sports Fanatic. RC, extending the brand, I see. Extending the brand. They've got 34 seconds before they reach halftime. Awesome. What's good? What's good? Ah, man, always great to see you. Been a hot second. What you been up to? RC said, JB, you know you're gonna be up all night long to see what happens with BYU and Colorado. Yeah, if JB's up all night, in which JB probably will be up all night, but it won't be for that. I promise you that. Photo says 34 seconds left before halftime. Let's see. Braden says one of the Georgia players dove for his ankles and didn't have a chance. That would have been me too, just diving for the ankles just to look like it. But Black Medicine coming through here with the super. Appreciate you. And he says, Ty, no OJ Simpson for Heisman. He said, get that man the Heisman. Oh man. Hey, what's his stats looking like so far here in that first half for Ty Simpson? What is this stats? 'Cause all I'm hearing about passing, I haven't heard a single thing about Bama running the ball at all. So are they just really just passing only or passing heavily in that one? Come to think of it, all the updates I've gotten so far have been about passing in this one. Photo says 37 in the house. Hey, yes, shout out to everybody that's here on the stream, guys. Even though it's halftime and we're waiting right now for this second half to get going in this Big Ten matchup to see who's going to win this one. But hey, you guys make it all the more fun. This is what I enjoy about what we do. Just having these, conversations, whether we're talking about college football, NFL, sports in general, it is always great. Absolutely. See. Auto said, let's get some more likes. Get JB up to 20 likes so JB can like AB. Yes. Greyhawk says, like and subscribe and tell us your favorite teams if you're new here. Absolutely. Let us know your favorite teams. And also, how do you think the second half is going to play out here? Is Oregon going to win? Because honestly, I chose Penn State before the game to win. I don't have a horse in this race either way. But the way that Oregon has been able to move the ball, they had a lot of opportunities. They did miss a field goal earlier there. So Oregon is showing signs that they can come through. But for Penn State, is this the half where Drew Alar is going to be able to make the plays to win the big game here when it matters the most? Surrounded by the home crowd, got to come through. Got to come through. But again, we are still here at halftime, so we are not missing anything. She said, JB, do you watch college football all through the night, or do you have a cutoff point? And so, RC, your boy gets to watch some. It's not as much as when it was just me before getting married, because sometimes I do dedicate time to my wife there. So it's like I pick and choose which hours now for college football I will actually spend watching. But if there's an interesting game and I'm around a computer, I'm going to have it on. Believe it. I'm going to have it on. Black Medicine says, dang, this stream is packed. Greyhawk says, Simpson has been amazing tonight. Oh man, I got to see his numbers. RC said, Braden, we sold out for the season tickets for the third straight year in a row. Alabama quarterback name is Ty Marino today. He's sure acting like it. Braden says, what team are we talking about, RC? Bodo said it's halftime now, 24-14 in that Alabama game. Bet. 24-14 in that one. But again, 3-3 is our score in this matchup here. And it's going to come down to for Penn State, the most important thing for them on offense is converting on third downs. Whether it's 3rd and 5, whether it's 3rd and 8, whether it's 3rd and 2, they've got to convert on third downs. And then when they get into the red zone, they've got to find a way to come away with a touchdown as opposed to 3 points. On defense, if we're talking for Penn State, they've got to do their work early on 1st and 2nd down. Get them in a situation where it is 3rd and long and ensure that they're not in a situation where it's like 3rd and 4, 3rd and 2, because then they'll just go for it on 4th down. They're pretty good at what they do. When they go for it on 4th down, Oregon typically gets it. So if you're Penn State, you got to continue to do that. But they're doing a good job because, again, their opponent only has 3 points. They did miss a field goal, but defensively, they're doing a good job. But in the second half, can they keep it going? As for Oregon, you're doing all the right stuff on 1st down. They're doing a great job running the ball. Absolutely love what they're doing. Time of possession, they've had the ball almost like 9 more minutes than what Penn State has had. So they're controlling the tempo, but you got to come away and get into the end zone. You got to put it together, get into the end zone. Maybe that comes from taking a deep shot early because Penn State will continue to be aggressive with that play fake. So maybe in the second half, you can start to expose a little bit more of that. But we will see what takes place here. But man, Drew Allard just 45 yards passing in the first half. I need more from him in the second half here. So that way JB can vouch for this man when it comes to, if he's a first rounder. But let's see. Kickoff here on the way. Oregon kicks it off. Penn State will get the football first here in the second half. Will we get a return? We will not get a return. Braden says, oh, you're talking about Iowa's women's basketball, RC? Let's see, the Iowa Hawkeyes women's basketball team, with or without Caitlin, is here to stay. I did notice that. Absolutely. Photo says 49 people in the chat. Hit the like button. It does not hurt unless you got carpal tunnel syndrome. If that's the case, just use your nose. All right, here we go. Penn State from their own 25-yard line. Tight end goes in motion. 3 receivers, one tight end, one back. Throw to the back, in the back, out the backfield with the reception. Fighting forward, picks up 6 yards on the play. All right, Samuel says BYU Colorado game final score. You think it's going to be 40-38? I don't know about the 38 part, but I can see BYU with the 40 points. I can see that maybe 40-18, something like that. 40-26. All right, so here we go. 2nd and 4 for Penn State. Again, third quarter, opening drive of the second half here. Penn State with the football. They're looking to put it together. 2nd and 4 here for Penn State. Receiver goes in motion. 3 receivers, one tight end, one back. Going to give it to the receiver there off the left side, and he's going to pick up 3 yards on the play. So now we're looking at a 3rd and 1 situation here for Penn State offensively. Got to convert the 3rd down, but great job making it to where it's 3rd and short. Now the offense just got to go out there and execute on 3rd down. RC said, "Oh, you could be a Diddy Diddler." And come on now, RC. Come on, man. Let's see. Braden said, that's how you subscribe to JB's channel, Boto. Oh, man. All right, so here we go. Boto says, yeah, BYU got a safety. Right, so if that's the 1st down, that's the 1st down on the carry there. Rushing to the downs to work with. Now we've got the football here at about the 36-yard line for Penn State. So excellent job by the offensive line, doing enough. And it was up to the running back to run through that linebacker that came up, and that's exactly what he did. 1st and 10 here for Penn State. Breathe or stopping the play here. What is it? Are they planning on reviewing the play or what's going on? They're going to review the play here. So I thought he had it, but let's see what the officials say. She said, wait, Colorado already began. I don't see them playing. And so I don't think that they've began just yet. Yeah, they're about, yeah, they're going to start at like 9:15 Central Time, 10:15 Eastern Time. So they're not on just yet. All right, so looking at that replay there, did he get enough for the first? They got to see enough evidence to definitely determine that he didn't, if they're going to say that he didn't. But let's see, looking from the backside of the replay, did he get enough? I mean, I'm not seeing enough that says that he didn't. from that angle. But then again, I'm not the official. Yeah, it's a first down. I could have told the referees that and saved them some time, but yeah, that's a first down. As RC says, JB, I'm unpredictable. I'd be cutting up sometimes. He said, JB, resting on my comments, stepping on a landmine. You know what? You got a point there. I got to make sure that if I'm going to pause and step away, it's not on your comment if I can help it, RC. Oh, man. All right, so first down here for Penn State. Got to keep the momentum going here. Drew throws it over the middle. Nice completion there and a first down. And that's going to get you there around that midfield area. That's what the home crowd wants to see right there for Penn State. Now you look at that. The only person that could have stopped that pass was the referee if he didn't duck his head out the way. And he literally had to duck his head on that play the other way. And so, Don, what's good? What's good? He says Penn State is trash. What's good? Photo says supposedly that BYU game is supposed to be on ESPN, but they will still have two other games that are in the third quarter. Ooh, gotta love when that when they start to overlap. All right, 1st and 10. Give it to the back, off the right side, picks up 3 yards on the play. Again, Penn State with their opening drive of the second half so far in this one. 12:05 to go here in the third quarter. All tied up 3-3. Alar on the move. Alar picked up the first down using his legs. That's got to be one of the slowest juke moves I've seen since I saw Tom Brady try to juke out Brian Urlacher. That's the slowest juke I've seen since then. Felt like watching it in slow motion. And it says, I think NCAA college team playoffs and national championship. Who you got for the national champion? Your projection, Samuel? Photo says, is it just me or does it look like Penn State has -3? You know what? It sure feels that way looking at the ESPN ticker. It does feel that way, doesn't it? 1st and 10, multiple tight ends on the play. Play fake. Drew on the move. Drew got to shake somebody. Shake him if you wanted to, guys. And so he's going to lose a couple yards on that play. 11:05 to go here in the third quarter of play. Again, we're still tied up 3-3. These quarters are going really fast with these two teams because of how they're moving the football, and that clock continuously stays running because of it. But now we got a 2nd and 12 right now. 10:44 to go in the third. Penn State at the 40-yard line of Oregon. Toss it to the back. And he gets tripped up at about the 36-yard line. Wait a minute. Oregon is pointing that he lost the ball. Did he lose the ball? Did these referees say? The referee said, give me that football back. Oh, man. But let's see. Did he lose the ball or did he go to the ground? Okay. So he lost the ball, but he did. His elbow hit the ground. So he was down. That would be down. Yeah. Because the ground is not allowed to cause a fumble. So he did hit the ground. She said, JB, what do you feel about LSU losing today to Ole Miss? Honestly, I mean, I'm happy for Ole Miss, honestly. I didn't pick them to win because I thought LSU would win just because anytime Ole Miss is in a big time matchup, they let me down. But I'm happy for them, really. All right, so Drew keeps it himself here on third down. So, all right, why would you do that? It's third down, 3rd and 9, not 3rd and 9 inches, in 3rd and 9, and then you're going to opt to do this play where you just fake the toss there to the back. Quarterback keeps it himself. Like, why? You don't need a yard. You needed 9 yards. I don't like the play calling in that situation there if you're Penn State. But now, because of it, they will bring out the punt unit. I guess they wanted to get some yards to get in field goal range, but still, try to get that first down. Look at that. He couldn't even get the punt there. But let's see what Oregon does here. Let's see. Samuel says LSU and Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, North Carolina for more and more. Photo says RC, I've checked like 5 ESPN channels and all of them have different games on still in the third quarter. So I don't know where that BYU game is supposed to be at. All right, but again, we're at the commercial right now. We're still all tied up 3-3. So to start the third quarter, a bit of the same story. We see one team with the football, they move it, they're looking nice, they make some nice plays, but then ultimately sputter. The closer they get to the red zone, the more the offense begins to sputter, and now they end up having to punt the ball. We agree with the coach's decision for his third down play, but we'll see what happens from there. She said, JB, you might have half a day type of streams with this game. Nah, the clock is moving pretty fast. Kenneth says, how far does Florida State drop? That's an excellent question. You guys, that's here in the chat, you're watching, chime in and let us know how far do you guys think that Florida State is going to fall in the poll because of their loss on Friday night to Virginia in double overtime. So it's going to be a fall. It's going to be a fall for sure. Just how much of a fall are we talking? I could see Florida State falling about 8 or 9 spots, honestly, I can see. Because again, anytime you start off the season unranked and you jump the polls pretty fast because of a big win, a big loss can have the opposite effect, honestly, and knock you down about 8, 9 spots. But hey, you guys let JB know what your thoughts are in terms of how far will Florida State fall. All right, let's see. What she said, Bodo, Colorado starts at 9:18. They'll probably push the start time back, honestly, probably about another 20 minutes or so if need be. I've seen them do it plenty of times. So they'll probably push the start time back as far as they need to. Again, we're at the commercial, so you're just chiming in. We are not missing any of the action here, but we're all tied up 3-3 right now. We're going to see what the Oregon Ducks can do here in the second half offensively, if they can be the team to get things going here offensively here in the second half. But if you're like Lewis and you took the under for the total points, then hey, you're sitting back, you're feeling good right now. Photo says, well, it says it's supposed to be on the main ESPN channel, so but the other game still has 5 minutes in the third quarter. Archie said, JB, I'm watching Alabama and Georgia because you like offense. Bet. I understand that. But here we go, third quarter, 9 minutes and 11 seconds to go. 5 wide here by the Oregon Ducks. Receiver goes in motion from their own 20. Gets a snap. Quick pass there. Got to make a play. Does make a play. Picks up about 7 yards on the play. That's going to make it second and short. And if you're Oregon, that's been your bread and butter because you find successes with it. But ultimately, you got to have more points than what you have. As much as they've been able to move the ball, they could definitely have more than just 3 points right now. RC said, JB, me and Zoe told you USC was going to lose. So you got the W over both of us. You knew something. And so, oh, yeah. I knew the Fighting Illini was going to come out and get that W. All right, second and 3. I just felt like they were going to bounce back after getting embarrassed by a team that was really not that much better than them to where they should have gotten embarrassed. It was a bit of a wake up calling for them. They woke up. USC lacks that physicality that I need to see from a USC team to really elevate them into like top 15 potential. They need to get more physical, is what I'm saying for USC. That's why the Fighting Illini did what they did today. All right, here we go. Second and 8 from their own 22-yard line. Gives it to the running back, and he's going to fight forward here for a pickup of about 4 or 5 yards on the carry. It's going to make it third and short coming up here. And again, third and short, they've been terrific on third and short. Simon says BYU versus Colorado game start time 9:13 on ESPN. She said, did Houston win yesterday and remain unbeaten? You was watching WNBA and you don't know. Who did Houston play yesterday? I forgot who they played yesterday. All right, here we go. Third and 3. Again, third quarter, 7 minutes and 45 seconds to go. All tied up 3-3. Oregon Ducks snap the ball. More on the move. More looking. More throws it. Get the completion. That's a big time play. That's what you need in a game like this is for your quarterback to make something out of nothing. That time he rolled to the right and he kept his eyes downfield to the very last possible second, and he still made the play. That's an excellent job there, especially in the marquee situation like they had just had. So big time play. Let's see what they do from here. And so, yeah, yeah, I got you. You guys sure did say USC was going to win. Do I think that they're going to drop out of the top 25? I don't think so. I don't think that they're going to drop out of the top 25. I just think that they'll probably be closer to like 16, 17 and stuff. They're going to want to still have it to where two ranked teams in the top 20 will be facing each other when Florida State plays Miami next week. So, and it was double overtime. So I think dropping them 8, 9 spots, that's about what we'll see there. So they'll probably drop to about 18, what I think, but not out of the top 25. I'd be shocked if they dropped out of the top 25. Photo said huge holding on number 76 for Oregon, not called. 76 been getting to work. I mean, Oregon's been doing pretty good offensively on that offensive line, but 76 seems to have a matchup that's a bit much for him. Because every time I notice 76 getting pushed back here, so that's one guy to keep an eye on the offensive line for Oregon. Let's see. Brayhawk says, "What a throw!" Braden says he used to make throws like that all the time back in high school, back in the day. All right, but again, we are currently at the commercial now. So far in this one, we're here in the third quarter, halfway through the third quarter, and I'm still looking at, Penn State quarterback Drew Alar, 7 of 13 for 61 yards in this one. So not much. Still got to get more out of him when it comes to passing. Got to get more deeper passes out of him somehow. And rushing wise for Penn State as a team, they have 21 carries for 47 yards. So Oregon defensively been doing really good in this one. Now, offensively for the Oregon Ducks, Dante Moore, 17 of 24 for 142 yards passing in this one. And as a team rushing for the Oregon Ducks, they've got 19 carries for 82 yards. Dominating time of possession so far in this one. And so Michael Brown was good. Says Florida State shouldn't fall too far. Virginia looked like a 9-3 team, not a bad road loss. And so, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I do think that right now they would drop them about 8, 9 spots there. If it was less than that, about 6 spots there, I just got to look and see the teams that's below them. How did they fare? Who did they play? But it was a close loss, double overtime. So yeah, it's not gonna knock them out the top 25 though. It won't do that. They kind of said, so when is the next stream for us all? So the next stream going to be Monday Night Football. That'll be the next one there, Monday Night Football, which happens to be who's playing this year for Monday Night Football. Let me see. I haven't set it up yet, but Monday Night Football. Oh man, Monday Night Football. They put the Jets and the Dolphins up there, but I see we also got the Bengals and Broncos, so I'll probably take my chances with the Bengals and Broncos just because timing wise, it'll work better for me getting off from work to stream the later game. But man, they really gave us an option with the Jets and the Dolphins there. Here we go. From the 50-yard line, gives it to the back, up the middle. I picked up about 3 yards in the ground. 6 minutes and 55 seconds to go here in the third quarter of play again. Score all tied up 3-3. Let's see. Michael says Drew Alar is super mid. None of their transfer portal receivers are difference makers. I was sitting here to myself thinking, Michael, I was like, I can't think of a single Penn State receiver out there. Like I just don't know anything about their receivers enough to the point where it's like you said, like I don't see a difference maker out there at the receiver position. We certainly do miss Tyler Warren a lot offensively. But here we go for the Oregon Ducks. Oregon Ducks second and 7. Get to the back and the back. Look at him find space. Keeps his footing. And he is running like JB does when he realizes that there's a good sale at the donut shop. Yeah, Bobby Ingram is not walking through that door, nor should he at this point, Michael, for sure. Oh, man. That takes me back there. I did not think that we were going to be talking about Bobby Ingram on this stream today, Michael. Love it. All right, but now this comes to the point in the game here where, okay, we've seen Oregon move the football before. If you're Oregon, you're thinking touchdown. Like this has to turn into a touchdown, honestly, for them. That's all you can think about in this drive if you're the Ducks. You're inside the red zone now. Make it count. 2nd and 4 coming up. And it says Jags versus Chiefs next Monday night NFL game. Gives it to the back, and the back's going to pick up 2 yards on the play. Otto says, I don't like the fact that every team is guaranteed 3 primetime games. Those need to be earned. There was no reason the Giants should have been on primetime. That game was just sad. I have to agree with you. At first, I was all for giving everybody the opportunity, but no, because then I end up in a situation having to stream a game like that. So I'm with you. I'm with you. But here we go, guys. Massive third down here. 3rd and 3. It says today that they've been 3 of 11 so far there, but they've been really good on 4th down. But here we go. 3rd and 3, 5 wide. Wouldn't be surprised if more ran it. Let's see. Quick throw over the middle. Get the first down. Keep his footing there. Knocked forward. Now they're inside the 10-yard line. So now they can smell the end zone. They just got to fight and get in that end zone there. A touchdown would be massive in a game that we've witnessed today that's been pretty much about the defense so far here. He said, JB, what's tomorrow's Sunday night football game? So yeah, tomorrow's Sunday night football game is essentially isn't it let me just double check that, make sure I'm correct quick. So yeah, so for the Sunday night football game, it's the Packers versus the Cowboys. That's the Sunday night football game, Packers and Cowboys. All right, 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Duck, run it up the middle. Running back. Keep his balance there. I don't know where he was going. Did he lose the ball? Did he lose the ball? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What was he thinking? What is he doing? Are you serious? Show me a replay because what was he doing? He faced the wrong way. He like my goodness. Lost the ball. Wow. He better be lucky that somebody kept their head in a swivel and got to this guy and knocked him out of bounds before he can get into plus territory. But man, that was wow. Wow. Just when you thought nice clean game, no turnovers, and something like that happened. And so JPM was good. You say, what is Stein doing? You say, we're more vanilla in this game than the previous 4. And so, man, you beat me to it. You beat me to it. Oh man, but what's good with you, JPM? Let's see. Samuel says, "Hey, JB, moving to Wyoming, pretty place. You're gonna go to Wyoming? Bet." Photo says Packers and Cowboys. Oh man. Oh man. She said, JB Popeyes now open till 11 p.m. or later. Bro, that's trash. To be honest, listen up. You say 90% of restaurants after like 7 p.m. are trash. Their food workers stop giving a fudge that later it gets. And so I feel you there, man. Photo said, that's why you always go for the early bird special, RC. And again, we're at the commercial right now, guys. I mean, everything was looking up for Oregon, but that's been the story so far today for the Oregon Ducks there is that they've moved the ball, they've looked well, they've made key plays, but ultimately, when they really need to make a play, you get into the red zone here for the first time today, and what do? You fumble the ball away inside the 10-yard line? Like, really? You worked so hard to get there. They missed the field goal earlier. They could have been up 6-3, honestly. Just so many opportunities there. They're doing good things. Don't get me wrong. They are doing good things, but it's not enough. This is the offense that I expect, at some point, you've got to open up the playbook. You've got to open up the playbook. Like I hate when coaches go ultra conservative, and now you see what happened. A big opportunity gone. Man, what you say? They be moving around to find a big briefcase of money. Oh man, let me know where it's at. Let's see. Kenneth said, "Is everyone having JV stream in and out? Am I going in and out, Kenneth?" Let's see. Brandon said, "Oh my fumble." And she said, "Bodo winner, yep." But if you can't, I'd say go to those restaurants between the hours of 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. to get the best tasting food. Bodo said, I haven't had any problems, Kenneth. Darcy said, basically breakfast, lunch, and dinner hours. Brayhawk says, over 40 people in here. Shout out to everybody coming through and watching. Just sitting here enjoying this game. And man, we're in for an interesting matchup. But wait a minute. Wait a minute. Was he down already? I'm about to say, show me where that thing is down. Okay. Okay. I can see that knee down. And that saved them. That saved them. That little play right there, I would say saved them. Now I don't know what he was doing after that, honestly. I don't know what he was doing after that. No, don't headbutt that young man. That young man might already have a concussion, honestly, the way he's out there playing. Oh, JB is not going to Wyoming, Samuel. Absolutely not. Brayok says, let's get to 20 light. It's a 3-3 and 33 overtime required. So RC's already thinking about overtime. But here we go, guys. Saved by the replay system. Second and goal. Quick pass. And he to the end zone for the score. So Oregon gets the touchdown here. All right. So wow. I mean, that was the complete 180, guys. At one point, it's looking like fumble, big return by Penn State, but then that play gets overturned, and now they cash it in for a touchdown. So there you go. That's how you cap off a drive. Threw it to the receiver, had the big lineman moving there, got the touchdown. It's the Cowboys versus Packers. JPM says Oregon has such a yardage advantage, but we're stuck in it. So, hey, but that touchdown feels better, doesn't it? 10 plays, 80 yards, 5 minutes and 55 seconds in terms of time possession off the clock, guys. Oregon gets into the end zone. So, congrats to them. But, man, you certainly want that running back to hold on to the ball there because, I mean, wow. But luckily for him, his knee was down. Kenneth said, "Is your side in and out for us all?" No, Kenneth, my side is good. I haven't had any problems on my side. So new life was good. Was good. It's a huge play for Penn State. It would have been a tale of what would have been new life. And just like that, it was taken away. Just like that. But I tell you what, though, we'll see what Penn State does on this one. But man, they got to do something, man. Because if Drew comes out there and throws for another 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 yards out there passing, I mean, what are we doing at this point? I'm trying my best to give this kid the benefit of the doubt here, but I need to see it. I need to see it in this kind of a game. I really need to see it in this kind of a game. She said Alabama's in control right now. Greyhawk says, "Oh no, he was down. Wow." And then touchdown. JPM says it got reversed. Bodo says, "Yeah, but RC, they keep getting tackled by their own players." Let's see, New Life said, "Oh, it did too bad." And so, yeah, they was like, "Nope, not gonna let it go down that way. Not gonna let it go down that way." Kenneth said, "Is this game going to JBOT? Do I think it's gonna go to overtime? Is what you mean, Kenneth?" And so you know what? I don't think this game's gonna go to overtime. I don't think it's gonna go to overtime. I think I just don't see it. I need to see more scoring, at least from Penn State, to be like, okay, they can tie it up, then we can go back and forth here. But we'll see. But I don't think it's gonna go to JBOT, but JB could be wrong. But JPM says that's what it's all about. Go Ducks. I feel you. Brandon says saved by the replay system. Sounds like you just created a new sitcom, JB. Yes. But nah, that replay did come in clutch that time because I don't even think he knew that knee touched the ground, honestly. The way he got up, fumbled that ball. So sometimes luck is on your side. It saves you from making the mistake. It saves you from yourself. Why am I seeing a Teddy Bridgewater commercial is what I want to know right now. That's what I want to know. Jamie says, is JB going to move to Los Angeles? Samuel, you're trying to relocate JB everywhere across the map right now. Oh, man. Brandon says, Samuel thinks JB moving to every state. He must be thinking JB's on America's Most Wanted and that JB's got to stay on the run or something like that, Samuel. You're treating me like a fugitive, like I got to be on the run. Photo said, LOL, Bama missed the kick so far left. It circled around the world. It was right and right. Oh, man. JPM says that Alar ain't it. And so, yeah, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. I'm really not. To where I don't see it. Like, he's got to put it together. Like, I mean, how many more years does it take for a kid to put it together? I mean, this is it. This is the last year, basically. So, I mean, it's still not there. Let's see. Braden says Alabama misses the kick. New Life says I don't have a dog in this fight. Yeah, me neither. I mean, I'm a Big Ten guy, but neither of these two teams are my team. But hey, I'm here for good football. And I always love to see some big time Big Ten football. So they're gonna fake it to the back, throw it to the receiver, and the receiver just bounce off the man hand, incomplete. Incomplete. Second and 10 coming up again here in the third quarter with 3 minutes and 11 seconds to go. And the Oregon Ducks up 10-3 currently. See, Curtis, what's good, Curtis? Talk to me. You say you're a Penn State fan, and you can admit that you was wrong about this team. They're not good enough to win the Natty. Drew Alar is holding them back, and he's a third-year starter. That's what the traps have been for both Penn State right now. It's looking like, and for Clemson, it's the fact that I look at them and I'm like, okay, these quarterbacks have been starters for a long time. They should get it together. But quite frankly, the truth is no. The issue is the issue. Someone tells you who they are, believe them. And right now, Drew Alar is showing me that in a big game, he ain't it. Because last year, if he was it, he would have elevated. Because I thought Penn State had a darn good chance at getting to the Natty, but they just couldn't because of Drew Alar. And right now, I'm seeing worth honestly right now because you took away Tyler Warren from last year, so I'm seeing worth right now. But here we go, 3rd and 9. There's still time in this game. Can Drew get a first down? Shout out to Curtis. What's good? All right, 3rd and 9. Off the wrong foot, almost threw an interception. My goodness. My God. What are we doing? Everything from the play calling and stuff. What are we doing? Have I seen this man try to make a pass beyond 15 yards in this game or beyond 10 yards? Because I feel like everything is like really close, intermediate, and it's off the mark half the time. But what was that? I get it. You're feeling pressure, but if you got the arm they say you got to be able to make some plays. But man, oh my goodness, I'm getting flashbacks of like watching Ryan Day 2 years ago with his play calling. Like, what's going on? New Life says, I agree. I don't have the confidence in Franklin or Alar to win this game. So me neither. Me neither. Me neither. I really tried my best to say, 3rd-year starter, like these guys can get better, they're developing, but man, it's just that ain't it. Simon says, play you, JB. As the Curtis says, Dante Moore is playing like he's the veteran quarterback. He sure is. There's something about that Oregon system that just brings the best out of players for sure. JPM says for real. Like if I was a high school player and I was a 5-star quarterback, like if I didn't like honestly, Oregon would be a team that I'd strongly consider because I'm like they develop quarterbacks, different quarterbacks, game in, game out. We're gonna be exciting. We're gonna move the ball. So if I was a 5-star quarterback, I'd strongly consider them. Look at that run. Nice run for the first down. Picked up 11 yards there and dished out some punishment to a DB that wanted no part of that. Leslie Bodo says, beautiful fake reverse by Georgia. They're down to the 25-yard line of Alabama. What is going on? What is going on? JB likes it. All right, here we go. 1st and 10. Another run play and another first down. Maybe. Let's see where they mark the ball at. But he was certainly close to that first down line. But another one. Right now, that defense is feeling fatigued. They've been on the football field for so long that they are getting tired. All right, so they're going to say 2nd and 1. Going to feed it to the back, and the back is going to get enough for the first down. Picked up 2, maybe 3 yards on the carry. 1 minute and 30 seconds left to go in the third quarter, guys. The third quarter is going by super fast. But can Oregon score again right now? Can they put more distance between themselves and Penn State? As Kenneth says, you guys please rate my friend's channel. His name is JD Lane Holmes, and he's got 283 subs there. All right, let's see. Again, 108 here in the third. Throws it. Running back stumbles. Gets to midfield. Picks up about 2 yards on the play. All right, let's see. JPM says, listen to them boo after talking so much smack to us. So I told y'all your quarterback sucks. There it is. There it is. There it is. Second and 8 right now. Shotgun formation for the Oregon Ducks. Moore on the move, gonna run up the middle and slide. Excellent job to slide there. No need to take that hit. Picks up 4 or 5 yards there on the play. New Life says, if you look around the Big Ten, there are better quarterbacks than Alar at 5, 6 other programs. What a statement there. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter, guys. And at the end of the third quarter, it is Oregon 10, Penn State 3. And so right now, I mean, it's looking right now like Oregon, you know, they are it. Absolutely. All right. So Kenneth shared the link there. Let's see. Bodo says Alabama is number 23. James Smith just got kicked out the game for targeting. Oh man, for targeting. That's crazy. PM says, I agree, man. I don't know why he gets so hyped. I'm gonna tell you why, JPM. The reason why he gets hyped, it all comes down to the program. Like Penn State's a name because you think about the top 25 poll prior to this season. Like they had Penn State up there and like what number two for some of those polls above Ohio State. And I was looking like, wait a minute, guys, like let's see Penn State go out there and get a big win, before we leapfrog a team like that and stuff. But hey, I get it on paper when you think third year starter, it should click, but honestly, it hasn't. It hasn't. I'm pretty sure Penn State fans, you guys can agree that last year, Drew Allar cost you guys winning that last playoff game that you guys played. If Drew would have just went out there on that last drive and just looked like a competent quarterback, Penn State probably still could have been playing. But he went out there and messed it all up. And hey, honestly, like someone said earlier, he is holding his team back at this point. So New Life said, who's better? Alar or at my hey, give me Altmaier. Give me him. Photo says, okay, Ken, if I went there and gave him a like, bet. PM says, and I don't mean to hate. I just don't understand why Penn State has been talking so much smack to us about our quarterback. And so, oh, really? They've been giving you guys the work about Dante Moore. And it says he has football and NASCAR and baseball everywhere. Oh, nice, nice. He does NASCAR as well. That's great. That is great. All right, and again, we're at the commercial here. But yeah, Kenneth does have the link and the stream for anyone that's interested in checking them out. I'll go ahead and put a star there, Kenneth. So if anybody wants to check them out. Let's see. New Life says Michigan and Ohio State have freshmen that are better than Alar. Oh man, New Life. Oh man, I truly hope that Julian Sand would come through for the Buckeyes there. Me being a Buckeye fan. But I like what we've seen so far from him, but I am concerned in the big game that Julian Sand is just right now, he's not at the point where he can take over if need be. So we cannot afford to get down 2 scores in a major game. Just can't do it. Let's see. Bodo says touchdown Georgia. So Georgia scored. Oh man, let me get back to the college football scores and see what's going on there. So see Iowa State taking care of business there. Mizzou's taking care of business as expected. All right, so Georgia scored. Man, what a game that is. What a game that is. Samuel said, check out his channel there. Hey, Samuel, I know you said you were going to post another video. Have you ever posted that video? Let's see. This says, well, Alar is 26 and 6 as a starter. He's got 58 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, but he's not good enough to win the Natty, and the defense kept Penn State in the game. But Dante Moore is basically a newbie. And so yeah, I mean, those numbers is what they look at when they're, at the beginning of the season when they're doing their rankings and stuff. So I get the numbers, but it all comes down to I feel like it comes down to clutchability. I'm gonna create my own term here. clutch ability. When your team needs you to perform in a big time matchup, I'm not talking about you guys are playing West Virginia and it's a shootout or something like that, or you have to score 50 points just to get the W. I'm not talking about a game like that. I'm talking about it's a Big Ten matchup there, Big Ten championship game, or it's a college football playoff game, and you need your guy to just come through and just make a play. It's 3rd and 8. Can he come in and be clutch when you need him the most, when all odds are against you? That's what you look for in a quarterback to win those type of situations, honestly. All right, 1st and 10 for the Oregon Ducks. Picks up 2 yards on the play. And again, right now, if you're Oregon, the path to victory is in front of you right now. You've been doing a good job of controlling time of possession. You want to keep that up. And if you can get into the end zone one more time, you're going to put a lot of pressure on your opponent to where they're going to have to go out there and actually throw the ball a little bit further than they want to throw the ball and get touchdown fast. Because the way Oregon moves the ball, they're taking off what 5 to 7 minutes off the clock per possession. All right, 2nd and 7. Feeds it to the back again, and he's going to get brought down, losing about 3 yards on the carry. So now 3rd down coming up, a key 3rd down, which could be the difference between a field goal or possibly being in position to get 6 points. All right, Bodo says 1 yard touchdown run by McCray. Isn't McCray a transfer from, what is it, the Fighting Illini, I think? JPM said, I've heard that neither of them are really lighting it off fire, but I really honestly don't know about Altmaier. Altmaier is that kind of guy to where, in my opinion of him, and again, more out escape the pocket, more gets the 1st down. What more can you ask from more rather than to just escape the pocket, make the play? That's what you do in a big time game. Just do whatever it takes to move the chains there. But I like Altmaier. I know what I'm gonna get from him in a big time matchup. He's gonna get me 200 something yards passing. It's probably gonna be like maybe like 220 yards passing, 225 yards passing. Could be like 17 or 25. Not going to throw it too much if not necessary, but he's going to keep you in a game. He can win close game if you need to get a field goal. That's what you get from him. Nothing spectacular, no Superman, but you will get what you want from any quarterback. A competent guy that can go out there and be consistent. That's what you want from him. Add whatever he adds with his legs and stuff, add that to it. Deboto says 24-21, Bama. All right, so we got 12 minutes and 29 seconds left to go in this one. How much time is in that Bama game? All right, you guys keep me up to date with how that Bama game goes because honestly, if this game does end up ending kind of fast and there's still time for that Alabama and Georgia game, then I probably can switch over to just finishing out that game and stuff like that since, you've got a good amount of people here. So if we want to switch to that game after this one, assuming that time allows it to where there's still enough time on the clock, we can possibly do something like that, is what JB's thinking. Let's see. Laney says subscribe to Kenneth there. Bet. Let's see. Smith says, hey JB, I don't know the video yet. Okay. Well, definitely let us know once you decide. Says you really like Mendoza at Indiana. He had an off game, but came through in a clutch to win a tough game in a hostile environment. Those are the qualities that you want. Quarterback that can come through in the clutch and win it. Because quarterbacks, they're going to have their off moments, but the great ones know how to get it together when it's a close game and win the game for their team. So New Life says, hit the like button. Y'all appreciate that and appreciate you. Bodo says, you are correct, Illinois. Look at the big brain on JB. And so a little something there from time to time. Bodo says 6:30 left in the 3rd quarter. Okay, yeah, awesome. Because I have a feeling that this game, the way it's looking right now, Oregon's going to do a good job of keep running this clock, and I just don't know if Penn State has it in them. But again, hey, I think the last time I said somebody was out, they actually came back and won. So JB's not going to say it, especially with it being a one possession game. A lot of things can happen. All it takes is a turnover to change everything. But right now, based upon the momentum, it is leaning towards Oregon for sure. See, it says the Vaughn O line stuck for Penn State too. Samuel said, tell you JB Laney notification bell turned on for his channel. Absolutely, Samuel. Absolutely. So whenever that video does drop, JB will know. Yep, JB will know. All right, and you know what? JB's gonna go ahead and ask you guys here in the chat. Let J nominate somebody in the chat that you would love to have them just do a live with JB. It could be just the two of us, you know. I plan on doing this for members to where anybody that's a member of the channel will be eligible to meet with JB at least to do some type of live stream together. It can be like 20, 30-minute video together. It can be a video, it could be a live stream, whatever it is, and we can talk, you know, sports. JB will give you a prep before the stream, or you can tell JB what direction you want to take. But right now, you guys can nominate somebody that you feel would be good for JB to have that first initial member interview with. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. On 4th and 1, the Oregon Ducks running into the end zone for a touchdown. Their coach is fired up. New Life says big comeback by Georgia Tech today. And so yeah, I was nervous for him. I was nervous for him. I want to see Tech do good things there, you know, having spent probably about half my life in Georgia. I'm tired of Georgia Tech always being a little brother to the Bulldogs. So I would like to see Georgia this year at least have their moment. And I'd love to see them win the ACC. I'm rooting for them to win the ACC, honestly. I would love to see that. And he says, yes, I do too, Samuel. So extra point is good. So 10 plays, 75 yards is what they drove it. So back-to-back touchdowns for Oregon. So their offense has arrived. Sometimes all it takes is one touchdown, and then all of a sudden the offense comes with that. So they're bringing it. They're up 2 touchdowns now, 17-3. So Penn State, what are you going to do in this situation right now? Because Oregon, they found the promised land not once, but twice. So can they respond and make this a game again? The time is there. What will the offense be there? We'll see. Samuel says, I don't know my first or second channel. Kenneth says, thanks for supporting my friend's channel. Let's see. Bodo says, you want to do I want JB to do an interview with JB. JB to do an interview with JB. Wouldn't that be live? Let's see. Bodo says, Bama 4th and 1, losses on 3 yards. Georgia has the ball at the 50-yard line. Okay, bet. 4th and 1, and they lost 3 yards on that one. Okay. Let's see. RC, Braden, any of you guys, I guess would love to have a stream with JB. We can do a co-stream or some type of interview. All right, kickoff on the way. Let's see. New Life says Penn State isn't built to come back from behind again with Alar. Let's see. Samuel says JB live stream Bama game. And so, yeah, what I can do is once this game is finished, only once this game is concluded, I can go ahead and switch over and we can catch the rest of that Bama and UGA game. So just because that's a big time matchup there. And hey, we're having fun. JB's energy hasn't waned out yet. So yeah, that would be a good idea, I feel like. All right, Alar throws it, gets the completion, picks up 9 yards on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 1 right now. Again, fourth quarter with 12:15 to go here in the fourth. But now we got a second down coming up. Again, Oregon leads this one 17-3. And you guys know if Oregon gets this football back, that might be it. So Penn State has got to find some way, somehow, to get a touchdown. Braden says Georgia now has a horrible drop that would have been a touchdown. Oh, man, who dropped it? Bodo said Georgia just dropped a sure touchdown. Holy beef, can nobody catch? Put JB out there at receiver. Dang it, I'll do it. 2nd and 1. Run play left side, has some space in front of him. Still running, still on his feet. Ultimately goes down at about the 47-yard line of the Oregon Ducks. So that was a big time run there for Penn State. Again, moving the ball on the ground here. New Life says, loving this, bro. New subscriber. Hey, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. First and 10. Sidearm throws it. I get the first down there. And let us know your favorite teams. We'd love to know your favorite teams, favorite sports, all that stuff. And anybody else that may be new also, or even if you're not new, remind us who your favorite teams are across all sports that you like. Would love to hear it in the chat. And so does baby wife have a name, Samuel? Absolutely she does. All right, let's see. First and 10. Braden says, I don't know. Says the O lineman has better hands than these receivers, right? Put him out wide. All right, first and 10 here for Penn State. Receiver goes in motion. Play fake. Looking. Takes a deep shot into the end zone. Oh my goodness, he got a touchdown. He got a touchdown. What do you know? Sometimes if you take a deep shot, it actually works out. And that was Devontae Ross. I mean, Devontae is certainly a good name to have for a receiver. That should help, right? But hey, we got a touchdown, guys. How about that for Penn State? New Life says, tight end number 11 for Georgia on the drop. Ooh. And he was like wide open in the end zone or near the end zone. Man, that's big. That is big. Photo said that is true, JB. Photo says, obviously he doesn't want to say Samuel. Oh man, here we go. Hey, your point is good. So 17-10. So Penn State, all it took to wake up was to watch Oregon score not once but twice in a row. But now you got to still stop them defensively because right now Oregon has found itself. And when Oregon finds itself offensively, then ain't no stopping them now. But Penn State's got to come up with a solution because Oregon knows how to move the ball, take time off the clock, all that good stuff. But if you are Penn State, you definitely like the fact that you finally got a touchdown. But what took so long to start calling these plays? That's what I need to know. But you guys let me know. Do you think Penn State can come back in this one? Do you think Oregon's going to score again? Do you think it can go to overtime? If you think overtime, put JBOT in the chat. Let me know. Samuel laughs. Let's see. New Life says a broken clock is right twice a day. You still like Oregon. So New Life says, let's keep it realistic, guys. Let's not overreact here. We know how this was going to go down. Let's see. Bodo said, how did Oregon get that touchdown? So Oregon on 4th and 1 from about like they were close to they were in the red zone. It was like 4th and 1, and the running back ran it all the way in. I think like 11 yards or something like that for the touchdown. So yeah, they ran it in by their running back on 4th and 1. He went in almost untouched. Might have been untouched, honestly. I don't know if anybody did touch him, but that's how they got their last touchdown. It was the running back that ran it in on 4th and 1 from about 10 yards, 11 yards out. Absolutely, Jay. I'm just impressed that I caught up on the chat, guys. Like, I really thought this was going to turn into one of those streams where JB just gets lost in the shuffle and never catches up until like at the very end of the stream. But man, what a day for college football. Like we just get to sit back and appreciate the fact that we've got all these great college football games going on right now and just the fact that we get to enjoy it. Because I know I sure was missing it the last couple of months prior to the start of the college football season. Like it was just an eternity. Like at some point, I wish we can find a way to make the season much longer than what it is. But I know for the players' sake, that's not a good idea. But man, Emma and UGA, they're still in the third quarter, correct? And by the way, I see that the BYU and Colorado game actually has started now for anybody that is interested in that matchup. They've actually started in that matchup. Seems like Colorado has the football first. I see that Mizzou's taking care of business. Now, y'all pay attention to that touchdown because I guarantee you, Mike Mayock is going to be using that touchdown to talk about Drew Alara in the upcoming draft. That's going to be his highlight that he's going to show on that play. I promise you that's what he's going to do. So when y'all see it, when we're talking about the draft close to April, he's going to show that highlight. That's going to be on it, I guarantee. Steve Odo says, Really? I just turned over to ESPN. There's still 3 minutes left in the other game, and they said it would start right after the end of that game. And so, yeah, I looked at the ESPN ticker and I see that it's got about 12 minutes and 39 seconds to go in the first quarter. Colorado with the football on ESPN News, I guess. Maybe that's when they'll start airing it, perhaps. All right, but let's see what will Oregon do on this drive. And if you're Oregon, the doctor orders another long drive, take some time off the clock, and then score. You do that again, hey, it'll be. I'd be shocked if they came back from that. Let's see, but it seems like ESPN News is the channel, Boto. ESPN News, from what I'm seeing, may be the channel. All right, 1st and 10 here from their own 25-yard line. Ducks with the football. More on the move. More. Want more. Runs out of bounds. Trips a staffer in the process. Just fumbles the ball. Just all kind of stuff there. But he gets up. All right, 10:21 to go here in the fourth quarter of play. With Oregon up 17-10, Oregon with the football, understanding how critical this drive is. Boto says, okay, gotcha. Boto says, I really don't care about any of these teams. Somebody was asking about it earlier. I forgot who it was. And so, gotcha. All right, 2nd and 6 right now. Under 10 minutes to go. Two receivers bottom of the screen here. Feeds it to the running back. And the running back's going to pick up about 2 yards on the play. All right, third down coming up with 9:42. Now, this is where the defense, you feed off the crowd now. You get that second win because you've been on that field for a long time. If you're Penn State defensively, you are tired, no doubt about it. But on 3rd and 3, you know you've got to get the stop here and then possibly be prepared for 4th down, depending on exactly how far they've got to go. All right, let's see. New Life says, "What do you think, JB? I don't think polls should come out until after the fifth or sixth week. These early season prognosticate. Oh man, JB's tripping here. Keep some teams artificially high in the rankings. I do agree with that. I do agree with that because, in a sense, we don't know who's really good. We think we know. I was dead wrong. I sat here about 3 weeks, like what, 3, 4 weeks ago, saying that I thought Clemson was going to win the ACC. You know how foolish that sounds right now, New Life? Why did I think that? Because of the returning talent at quarterback. They led JB to believe that they were going to, possibly be that team. They made the college football playoffs last year. I thought, why not? So I would have had them as a highly ranked team. But you just don't know until you've seen a couple weeks. Now, I do feel like it is important to kind of have an idea, like just where we think teams are at. But Notre Dame, another team, they started off what 0-2 before they got their first win. So that's another team I was wrong about. So you're right. You're right. Let's scrap it. Let's scrap it. They probably should wait till that week where they finally like they do have the committee get together and then they rolled out their poll and let's go off of that because that's the one that matters anyway. So let's go off of that. So I feel you. All right, incomplete pass. 3rd and 6 coming up. Let's see. Boto says, I agree 1000%, New Life. Yeah, JB needs to keep that water coming because JB's butchering words now. There is a flag. Let's see. Simon says Massachusetts versus Missouri game. Yeah, Mizzou is putting it on him. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Really? Now that can hurt a team and stuff like that. That's unnecessary. Oh, come on. No wonder we got high school kids out there jumping up on their opponent and stuff like that that's laying on the floor and injuring kids. Like, bro, what were you thinking? You got to keep your composure. That really hurts a team when this is a penalty that could have easily been avoided. I understand a holding call sometimes here and there, but I cannot tolerate having an unsportsmanlike conduct play when you know you're in a big time matchup here and you're trying to win a game. Now it's 3rd and 21. Gets the completion. Look at that. unable to make up for the mistake that 71 made. And now you've got to put your hopes and trust that the defense can go out there and get a stop when you probably, honestly, offensively could have kept taking more time off the clock and increased your odds to win. So let's see. Bodo says, bet you do think let's see. You do think that those rankings but you'll turn into college football the first week, so you see number one versus number three. I mean, there are some benefits to that, to be able to say we've got two teams that are ranked in the top 10 going against each other there. That does get views, it really does. Like that Clemson LSU game, that was entertaining because of the rankings. But quite frankly, if Clemson had played Troy before they played LSU, I would have been like, nah, I'm not gonna watch that game. Sure, I Clemson hurt my team in the past. I don't care what they do, And then LSU, shoot, I graduated from the University of Florida, so I don't care if LSU wins or not. Honestly, most of the time. So I wouldn't have done it if I'd known that Clemson was going to be that bad. I would not have watched. So you're right. Rankings do impact, like what we think. Who is another team that was ranked? Wasn't the Florida Gators ranked at one point in time? This is a team that's probably going to finish below 500 on the year. It's not their fault. They had a tough schedule, but still, to start them off ranked, yeah. So I get you there. I get you there. Let's see. New Life says Georgia's driving. And again, we're at the commercial here. I said, yeah, but let's put it in perspective, JB. He said Notre Dame lost to two top 25 teams and then pummeled two pancakes. That's the thing. That's the thing, like that's true. But if you are as high as what they thought Notre Dame was, 'cause I honestly thought Notre Dame was like going to be top six team. I had them probably around six in my initial, coming into the season rankings. But if you're losing to two teams that I had you guys beating, then that means you're not a top 10 team at all. Now are you a top 25 team? You beat Purdue. Who is Purdue? Who is Purdue? And we just saw the Razorbacks just, get beat again. So I'm questioning the wins if that's the case. He said, maybe name one top 25 team that I can see Notre Dame dropping 50 points on right now in the top 25. Whoo, you asking for a task right now, RC. Top 25 team that y'all can drop 25 on. Let me look at all the top 25 teams and see if there's someone that I would even see the potential that being the case. You're asking a lot out of JB to be able to come up with a team that's in the top 25 that you guys have the potential to drop 50 on. Just the potential alone. I doubt I'm gonna find a team, but I'll look and see if there's a team up there. Sorry, that team does not exist. That team does not exist. Yeah. You guys are ranked what, 22? Yeah, so that team does not exist at all. But nice try. New Life says Notre Dame gave up 30 points to Purdue. Yeah, you give up 30 points to Purdue these days. That's not going to work out for you. But again, we're still here at the commercial here. Returning to the action here shortly. And again, the score right now, Oregon up 17-10 right now. SM says JBOT, so he wants some JBOT. That's what he wants. And we still got just over 7 minutes of football left. I almost felt myself saying 7 minutes of commercial free football, but wrong package, wrong year. So Drew throws it behind his target, incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up. Marcy said, JB, that's what I'm saying. Nobody. Yeah, you're right about that. Nobody at all. But I will give Miami props so far. They beat you guys. They beat South Florida. And I had at the time thought that South Florida was, a pretty decent team because they did beat Florida on the road. But then again, Florida's just a bad team that was hyped up. So it's hard to tell right now, honestly. All right, here we go. 2nd and 10. Gonna feed it to the back and the back to the line of scrimmage there. 3rd down coming up. So now Penn State. He 3rd down. 3rd down right now. in the game. 6 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Again, Oregon up 17-10. Can they get a first down and keep this drive going? Photo says just now hit the fourth quarter in the Georgia game. Bet. And New Life coming through with the super, man. I appreciate that. And yes, appreciate you as well. And absolutely, JB loves these moments here. Honestly, JB loves college football in general. I wish I had more time to cover and more energy to cover more college football games and stuff. But JB's just been dealing with some stuff health wise for now. But JB believes that there will be a comeback to where JB at some point can be more like when you guys see Rise and Rhino just able to stream multiple times out the day. Now the wife will probably pull the plug on the computer if that's the case, but you get the point. But man, there was an injured player. Did anybody see what position was the injured player on the field for? I think for Oregon because I glanced up and seen it. But definitely hope that he's okay. But again, we are here in the fourth quarter. Let's see. She says through Laura as in I'm through with him. When RC's through with you, you know you did wrong. Let's see. Samuel says yesterday, new release robot at Walmart in Vicksburg, Mississippi. Y'all got robots out there rolling around. Samuel, that ain't good. That ain't good. Oh man, here we go. So we are currently here at the commercial. And yes, just a reminder, Monday Night Football, that'll be JB's next stream there. So I should set up that live stream. If not tomorrow, then it'll probably be like I did today where I set it up. But definitely check the community post because anytime JB's going to set it up the same day, JB will go ahead and put that in the chat. But guys, right now, if my eyes are not tripping, it looks like Colorado is beating BYU 7-0 right now. I know it's early first quarter. I know. But for anybody that's a dreamer out there that wants Colorado to win, there you go. All right. Meanwhile, Drew. Oh man. So Drew moving it with his legs here. 6:28 to go here in the fourth quarter. So both teams have really woken up here late in this game, and I love it. 41-yard line right now of Oregon. First and 10. Throws it off the wrong foot. Just got to try to get rid of it. I feel like he was throwing that ball away near his receiver, but it was incomplete. Receiver tried to catch that one. Second and 10 coming up. RC said, JB, don't make your wife get the scissors to cut the cord. That will be game over for everybody. As Bodo said, Georgia goes for it on fourth and one instead of kicking a field goal to tie the game, and they don't make it. So it's Bama's ball. Oh man. Oh man, what are they thinking? All right, second and 10 right now. Drew Alar looking at the play sheet right now. Again, there's 6 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. Oregon's up 17-10 in this one. But Penn State looking for a Drew Holiday miracle, one might say. Moving around. What's the rush? Keep his footing. Oh man. Picked up 8 yards. I didn't think he could do it, but somehow he tugged his way forward for 8 yards. Yeah, I need to see some emotion from you. Show me that you want this game. Third and two. Big third down right now for Penn State. You got third and two right now coming up. New Life says the fog is rolling through Athens. Georgia just failed on the fourth and one while passing up a field goal. RC says Colorado scores first. Photo says New Life, that was fireworks smoke. Let's see. I know Lewis right now is probably out there just taking shot after shot because he knows he's already cashed. The way that this game is right now, 27 combined points. He's at the under, I think, at like what, 53.5 points, I think. So I know he's sitting back happy regardless of how this game plays out. All right, but here we go. Third and two. And Drew come through for his team when they need it the most. The number 3 ranked team in the country. Talking about AB top 25, right? Gives it to the back, in the back, fights forward, picks up about a yard and a half there, but he will be half a yard shy of that first down marker. It is time for the tush push. New Life says during the game, crazy. So why, right? Absolutely. All right, guys, here we go. 4th and 1 coming up. There's 5 minutes and 30 seconds left to go here in the fourth quarter right now. This is a huge, huge play right now for Penn State because if you don't stop them, you know how good Oregon is at taking off time and probably getting another score as well. So you've got to come out here and get it. They hurry up to the line, snap it, feed it to the back, and the back. Thanks to the second push there, that might be enough for the first down, but man, they almost were stopped. Bodo says, I have no idea why they did that at the start of the fourth quarter. Sounds silly to me, but maybe it's tradition. It could be. It could be. Samuel says, Alabama versus Georgia game 24-21 in the fourth quarter with 11 minutes and 32 seconds left to go in that one. I mean, fight with all his might he did for that first, but he got it. Now 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. So they need 30 yards to get to the end zone. Drew in the pocket. Drew on the move. Drew picks up about 3 yards on the play. Let's see. New Life says now Bama moving quickly. Photo says Alabama driving, eating up the clock. Okay, I know Black Medicine right now is sweating bullets, hoping his team can come through. 2nd and 7, 4:14 to go here in the fourth. They're going to put Drew out there at receiver. We know what that means. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Hurts me so bad, man. Like things are going good. Why do you have to keep going to gadget plays here? Now, I'm assuming that this is going to be against Penn State here, but let's see what they say. Yep, there it is. There it is. You can't stop shooting yourself in the foot. Like watching Plexico Burris all over again, man. This is bad. Samuel says BYU versus Colorado game 7-0. They're in the first quarter. 2nd and 12. So that's what's the record for both of those teams, Samuel. Gives it to the back, and the back's going to pick up a nice about 5 yards on the carry. Third down coming up again. 3 minutes and 42 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter of play. The record for both of those teams. So BYU is 3-0 right now. They're ranked 25th, 25 in the country, but they're 3-0. Colorado is 2-2. Photo. So that is Colorado's record this year, 2-2. BYU is 3-0. That being said, if Colorado can find a way to upset, that would be massive, I believe, for the program. They need an upset win like that. All right, 3rd and 7 here for Penn State. Drew's going to toss it. Look at that. Look at that. Look, that makes me question almost everything that I hear about the evaluation here. Because here you go, you're down 7 points. There's 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and you're going to still try to run the ball in a clutch situation where you probably should have let your quarterback make the play. But either way, he picked up a nice amount of yards here. Fourth down coming up here. They've got to keep this drive going. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and call a little timeout here. So Penn State's first timeout of the half. Of course, you're welcome, Boto. But man, you guys let me know here in the chat, how does this play out the rest of the way? Will Oregon win? Will Penn State win? Will it go to overtime? And if you think it'll go to overtime, put JBOT in the chat. But who do you think is going to win this game, guys? Let me know in the chat. It's not too late to let your voice be heard. There's the JB, Seahawks 3-1, Chargers 3-0, 49ers 3-0, or Colts 3-0. Biggest surprise team. Don't just say Coach JB, think about it. And so honestly, I would have to say, given those teams there, I gotta say the 49ers just because of the injuries that they've endured and the fact of how they're doing it in terms of having Mac Jones go out there and do it. Because they've got injuries across the board. Whether we're talking about, Jawan Jennings has been hurt, whether we're talking about, Kittle being hurt. Like every time I hear 49ers are dealing with some type of injuries, I knew the Chargers were going to be good. And I believed in the talent that the Seahawks have, so far. So for me, if I'm not saying the Colts, 49ers. All right, here we go. 4th and 1, guys. Penn State. Drew's going to keep it. Drew gets the first down. That's a first down. So he kept it himself, moved the chains. Honestly, I felt like if he gave it to the receiver in motion as well, he probably would have got the first also. But he made the right decision to keep that one. He said, drive, 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 let it drive. All right. 2 minutes and 13 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. Again, Penn State down by a touchdown. Ball at the 19-yard line of the Oregon Ducks here. Fake it to the back. Drew gonna throw it to the back now at the backfield. Got to make somebody miss. He does. Picks up about, still fighting forward there. So that might turn into, whenever they blow the whistle here, still fighting forward. So where are they going to spot this one? The referees let them go out there and basically fight it out. I thought they would have stopped progress a while back, but they continue to let them play. So, hey, let the boys play. So that's a massive first down there for Penn State. They're feeling it. Can they get into the end zone, guys? Boda says 49ers with all their injuries. How the heck are they 3-0? RC said Penn State coach is 4-20 versus top 10 teams. You're not shocked, JB. Hey, I've kind of noticed that as well. I've kind of noticed that as well. But you guys remember last year when I vouched for Ryan Day, and this was coming off the loss to Oregon last year, but I vouched for him and I said he should not be fired. Because I remember old man was like, he should be fired. He was done with him. And I was like, he shouldn't be fired. There's still time. And they pulled together. They somehow won. Somehow. Like the Georgia got to stop and Bama's going to punt. Okay. And again, we're at the commercial right now, guys, so we are not missing anything right now at all. But man, Penn State, massive, massive conversion there. Get that first down. They're down by 7 points, but hey, they are moving the ball right now. And so, can they capitalize here and get the score? That's what it all comes down to. Being able to get a touchdown, a field goal will do you no good here. They've got to come away with a touchdown. He said, JB, why the fudge truck are they bringing back Purdy when Macaroni Jones has been the winning quarterback for the 49ers? Because at some point in time, macaroni gets bad, so that's why you do it. You say, JB, I took 30-minute nap and you're still online. Oh man, RC sneaking in naps, but at least you're not live and doing it. Again, still right now at the commercial. But tell me this, RC, when are you going to go live again? When is your next planned live stream? And while we await now at the commercial, it's a good time to look right now at the up-to-date stats for Penn State offensively. So Drew Allar so far in this game, 12 of 22 for 125 yards passing. He's thrown one touchdown, no interceptions in this one. Also running wise, he's the second leading rusher right now for Penn State. 9 carries, 42 yards so far, including his longest run of 20 yards in this game. But now we come back to the action here. 2nd and 3 here for Penn State. New Life says if Penn State scores, would you go for two or play for overtime at home? Honestly, New Life, if Penn State scores, you have to play for overtime just because I always feel like if I'm up 18-17 and my opponent knows they have to get a field goal, situations where maybe they might take a knee or something like that, they're going to try to get in the field goal range and they may just end up making a game winning field goal. But if there's less than 20 seconds on the clock when you score, then you go for two. That's JB's philosophy with going for two to try to finish the game. I want to make sure that they have no time to get in the field goal range. All right, 2nd and 3. Feeds it to the back. And he's going to fight for it. I think he's just shy of the first down marker, which is going to make it 3rd and short. But right now, if you're Penn State offensively, you're exactly where you want to be offensively in terms of field positioning there and being able to score. And you're also thinking you don't want Oregon to have time to score before end of regulation. New Life said if Penn State score, would you go for? Oh, I already read that one. Let's see. RC said, JB, it's this guy online. He has an entertainment channel, has a cool guy. He's a cool guy, but he nods off on the camera a lot. I feel you. Third and inches. Yeah, JB was nodding off at the dentist, which is not a good idea the other day. From up under center. Feeds it to the back, off the left guard, gets the first down, and now they're going to be at the 7-yard line. There's 58 seconds left here in regulation. Huge first down for Penn State, and they are 7 yards away from tying this one up. If you want overtime in this one, put JBOT in the chat. But if you don't want overtime, then put no JBOT in the chat. Loto says high scoring first half has come to a grinding halt in the Alabama-Georgia game. Meanwhile, vice versa here. Vice versa here. Lewis says short. Lewis step back here. That's how you know we got a game. First and goal. Fakes the toss. Gives it to the guy in the end of round. Just got to use his speed, and he does. Touchdown, Penn State. And who says this one is over? Wow, they were down 17-3 at what point in time? What happened? And once again, it is Devontae Ross making another play, this time on the end around. But my goodness, 15 plays, 62 yards, and it took off 6 minutes and 37 seconds in terms of time possession off the clock. Somehow, some way, they're just moments away from tying this up. Now, again, they got to make the extra point here. We've seen crazier things happen here, but let's see what they do with that. But man, 17-16, lining up for the PAT attempt. Hey, we're all tied up. We are all tied up 17-17 with 30 seconds left to go here in the fourth quarter of play. New Life says agreed. JB go for 2 in a row. Overtime at home. RC said, JB, honestly, my next live stream. Oh, good question. He said, I'll be live after both WNBA games tomorrow, but next sports live stream. Good question. Lewis says no overtime. He wants to cash in right now. What is it? 17-17, 34 points there. Oh, yeah, I feel you there because a couple overtimes, things can get very interesting, Lewis, for sure. Greyhawk says, what a play call, touchdown. We're all tied up. Get your popcorn ready, as T.O. would say, get your popcorn ready. RC said, JB, when you on earth, as long as we have you, sleep wherever you can. Yeah, I found myself like I couldn't even help it, RC. Like I was just over there and just wait for the dentist to come back, just nodding asleep and stuff, man. That's how I know I'm over 30, man. Like I know the beard is more gray than black now, man. It's all adding up, RC. It's all adding up. Because JB's only going to be turning 32 in a couple months. But I feel much older, man. Much older. All right, so Penn State's going to kick this one off. 30 seconds remaining and 2 timeouts is what Oregon has to work with. And all they need is a field goal. Now, does anybody here that's an Oregon fan can tell me what's the career high or career longest kick for the kicker for Oregon? And let me know, is he clutch? Is he good? JB wants to know. Bodo doesn't want overtime, no OT. RC said overtime for him, please. Bodo said, what a pass in between 3 defenders. RC said, Penn State responds, JB and okay, so Penn State responds, JB and Braden. Penn State. All right, so here we go. With 30 seconds here before potential overtime, Oregon with an opportunity to try to win before that. Moore gets this. A quick pass there to the receiver. Got to see what he does. Fights, but picks up about 3 yards there. 22 seconds. I don't necessarily love that play call. You're wasting a lot of time here rather than taking something deeper. 15 seconds. Throws it. Oh, incomplete. Incomplete. Tried to really thread the needle there. Incomplete. Receiver hobbled up there. 3rd and 7. New Life said, made a liar out of me. I told you last time I said that it did the same thing to me. As I said, Oregon still has time, but they took a lot of time on that play. I'm not in love with that play call there. The play before that, in all honesty. What they did on 2nd down should have been the 1st down play call. But here we go. 10 seconds left in the 4th quarter. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. Moore gets it. Gives it to the back and the back. They're just gonna go ahead and run this one. They want to go to overtime. All right. Let's say, why did the clock stop? All right, so Penn State called a timeout here. Okay, so they're being optimistic here. I'm Oregon. Just, you know what? I wouldn't even try to throw it here. Have my quarterback run around, throw it out of bounds there. Just run the clock out first. So nice try, Samuel. Nice try. Photo says Georgia driving 4 minutes and 25 seconds left in the game. Let's see. She said, JB, I want to do the Minnesota versus Phoenix game, but I don't know if I can squeeze that in. Maybe if it was earlier, like between 3 and 6, but the game is scheduled between 7 and 9. Yeah, I feel you there. I feel you there. And again, if you are Oregon with just 4 seconds left on the clock, you just want to go ahead, go out there and just protect your quarterback at all costs and run out this clock and take it to OT. New Life says, great throw by Gunnar Stockton. Georgia has moved from their 4 to the 49. All right, here we go. 4th and 7 for the Ducks. Snapped it, just moving around here, and then just throws it up high, throws it away, takes this one to overtime. So there it is. So we are at the end of regulation. 4 quarters was not enough to determine who would win this heavyweight Big Ten game between the Oregon Ducks and Penn State Nittany Lions here. So we're going to see overtime here, guys. Wow. How about that? RC said JB 89 currently. Man, sometimes it feels like it. Samuel says, am I 31? Yes, JB is 31. But she said, JB, with the price of meat lately, you haven't eaten steak since Kobe retired? Oh man, that's been a minute, RC. A hot minute. Odo says Georgia has got called for illegal shift for down 3 minutes and 27 seconds left and they're punting. All right, and if you're just listening in and you're like, all right, JB, what in the world is going on? So we are going to overtime. It hasn't started just yet, but we're going to overtime in this matchup between Penn State and Oregon here. We're all tied up 17-17. 4 quarters, not enough. So let's see what happens in overtime. Who's going to win? Will Oregon come through and be clutch, or will Penn State at home come off with a massive victory this year? Because I'm telling you, Penn State mess around and win this game, they're going to jump to that #1 spot. I already know how the committee's going to do it. They're going to go ahead and leapfrog Ohio State. I already know that. But if Oregon wins this one, we'll see how high they put Oregon up there. I can see them jumping up to #2. Has football been better than the NFL this year? I feel you there. I mean, I really have been enjoying a lot of these matchups here. But there's been some games there, but you're right. You're right. Like just overall between the two, if I had to pick one, I'm leaning towards college for sure. It's just exciting, honestly. Like very exciting. The photo says RC Kobe steak is really good. As he says, Pro JB, the WNBA is dumb as hell. Why they really about to play a huge game 4 up against Sunday Night Football? I feel like they just decided just go with it. They're like, if you're with them, you're with them. They're just like, hey, if you want us, you want us. So your Cowboys are playing too. JB WNBA seriously needs to stop competing directly against the NFL. I didn't even realize they were playing at the same time as your Cowboys. All right, guys, we're about to get ready for the coin toss here. The line says Georgia has to punt with 3:19 and they're down 24-21. I said, Bodo, I know it was an intelligent punt. Bodo said, I would not say that, scared money. SM says, JBOT, let's go. That's right. I'm ready for this one to get started here. Again, words are being exchanged. JB cannot hear it for copyright issues, so I can't actually hear what they're saying. To look for a 31-year-old. I appreciate that there, Samuel. I really do. But man, it's just crazy to think. Like you guys that are new would not believe at one point in time JB actually had long hair in terms of like having dreadlocks and stuff. Man, that feels like a lifetime ago. a lifetime ago. Who Curtis says they came back from a two-score deficit to go to overtime. I know, right? I did not think that was going to happen. I really did not think that was going to happen, but I'm glad it did. I'm glad it did, just for the sake of a good game. Now, whoever wins, whoever wins. Newland says maybe, but Buckeyes had a very good win on the road at Washington. He was impressed by Ohio State today. And so, okay, you're the second person to say you was impressed by Ohio State today. So that makes JB feel a little bit better because I honestly thought they were just going to go by the fact that, an unranked team, we struggled in the first half, all that stuff. Although I got a lot of respect for Washington's football and what they have there. I was really proud of our defense today. I've been proud of our defense all season, not just today against Texas as well. I'm really proud of that Ohio State defense. All right, gives it to the back here off the right side, fighting forward to the 20-yard line, picked up 5 yards on the carry. Laney says JBOT. And Barry Sports, what's good? He says, happy Saturday. Hey, everyone, what's good with you? How are we? Samuel says, OT. RC said, JB, let's see if we can get 16 overtimes in a row. Fun fact, the longest stream that JB had in his entire streaming career was when Penn State played against the Fighting Illini years ago, and they went to like 9 overtimes. That was definitely the longest stream I was a part of in terms of overtimes. Oh, get it to the back, and he's trying to go all the way. He's just now 3 yards away or 4 yards away from the end zone after that massive run off the left side. Again, they put him in motion, which they've been doing pretty much all game long. But man, the effort, they gave it to him. The defensive end committed and chose quarterback. He said, I'm just going to guess quarterback here. Wrong decision. But excellent run. But can they capitalize here? First and goal in overtime. But let's not forget, guys, for anybody that's not familiar, overtime, Penn State, even if they score, Oregon will get their chance. 5 seconds right now on the play clock. They snap the ball, give it to the back, and the back off the right side. Run it, gets the touchdown. So Penn State gets the touchdown. Oh, my word. Would you look at that? So now Oregon has to score a touchdown. And they know that. They know that. But when you know you have to score a touchdown, that means 4 down territory. And who better than Oregon when it comes to knowing that you're going to go for it basically on 4th down anyways if you have to do that. So let's see how this plays out. But right now, Lewis, are you getting a little nervous about your picks today? Because I know you took the under, and all too many overtimes would not be good for you. Absolutely. Showing some love there for Daniel. Extra point is good. So 24-17, Penn State scored here in overtime, but Oregon, they will get an opportunity here, but they have to make it count. If they don't make this count, it is game over. So you guys in the chat, tell me, will Oregon tie this up? Brayhawk says huge run. Curtis says right now, Ohio State's the best team in the country. Samuel says, hey, you JB, I think you say your birthday. You said you think my birthday is October and November. I get 2 birthdays there, Samuel. But nah, JB is November there, sometime in November. Braden says touchdown. New Life says you're an Indiana grad, originally from Michigan. So Indiana first and then Michigan. So you give out compliments to Ohio State often. Oh, bet. That's what's up there. That's what's up. How is the Indiana campus there? That's what I'm curious about. All right, here we go. First and 10. Gonna feed it to the back off the left side there. Gonna pick up about 3 yards on the carry. So 2nd down coming up, 2nd and 7. Again, this is overtime, so there's no need to worry about the time. All you got to do is just go out there and get into the end zone with the football if you're the Oregon Ducks. Photo says, after how many times do they have to go before they go for two? That's a good question. I know that they changed that rule recently. Is it the second overtime or the third overtime that it kicks in having to go for two, if anybody knows? I think is it the second overtime now? Pump fakes, throws it, gets it to his receiver for a 1st down. Excellent job there by the Oregon Ducks. All right, let's see. I see that Bama game is late with that one, so keep me updated with that one too. New Life says clutch Penn State, big time comeback, but can they finish the deal? Because right now the Oregon Ducks here with a 1st and 10. They don't need much. They just need about 19 yards. I'm sorry, 14 yards to get into the end zone. One back in the backfield, two receivers, multiple tight ends. Snaps it. Oh, they lost the ball. They lost the ball, but the quarterback fell on it. That would have been a nightmare for Oregon. You already wasted a play there, but luckily he was able to dive back on the ball. What happened there? He hit my man elbows. You supposed to put that thing in a bread basket, man. What are you doing? What are you doing? Brandon says Indiana's looking really good. New life. Yeah, they had a nice victory 2 weeks ago. Nice win against Iowa as well. All right, here we go. 2nd and 13 right now for the Oregon Ducks. Running back goes in motion here. Quarterback for the run. Quarterback. Oh, he got hit stick. That was one of those early Madden hit sticks right there, right? You just put everything you have into your right thumbstick and hit that right trigger, and then it's like that type of hit. But man, his lineman just looked like he was just running straight, didn't try to touch a soul while he's following him. Carter said, "Don't remind me of that Illinois 2021 game. Man, that was a gut punch game." And so, man, I honestly chose that game on a whim. I was supposed to stream a Michigan game, I think, but I couldn't. I knew most people couldn't get that channel, so I ended up switching at the last minute. But what a game it turned into! Oh, what a hit! What a hit! He picked up 7 yards. Now it's 4th down. If you're rooting for Penn State, you got to put it all on the line right here. Meanwhile, same thing for Oregon. You know what you got to do. You just need a yard. Who do you trust? Who do you go to? What do you call in this situation if you're both teams? Ray Hawk says Penn State has all the momentum. Bodo says no duck. New Life says beautiful. Braden says JB has 2 birthdays because he's moving so much. He goes in different time zones. Pirate Dave, what's good? What's good? Says Penn State about to wake up. What's good with you? New Life says second. Now let's see exactly where's that ball at. Where his knee? Okay, his knee went there. Oh, they missed on a helmet to helmet. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Mm, wow. I remember last time I was walking at nighttime and my head hit the wall just like that. That was how can you miss that? That was outrageous. Like that was, I mean, dang. Bodo says 1st down Alabama. There's a flag on the play though. Bragg says 2nd OT. They start going for overtime. Okay, 2nd OT. Set fumble. Georgia just got called for a personal foul. SM says yesterday the Virginia coach didn't know they had to go for a 2 on the 2nd OT. Oh man, that's crazy. All right, so we got a 4th and 1 coming up, guys. 4th and 1. Now these guys are a little tired. You got to keep that in mind. Fatigue is kicking in also, because it's been a hard fought game. But who's going to come up and make the play here? If it's Penn State, that's it. But if it's Oregon, we continue this football game. So let's see what happens. JB is loving this football game. JB is fired up for this football game. Let's go. 4th and 1. So right now they're going to line up in the shotgun here. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. Receiver goes in motion, gets the snap. Quarterback going to keep it. Quarterback gets enough for the 1st down. So that's a 1st down. So now they got to find a way to get into the end zone there, but they continue to keep hope alive here, and they're not that far from their destination. Okay, so Bodo says 2 minutes left in the game that Georgia has and only 2 timeouts. 4th and short. Lewis says good defense. Lewis, I know you got to be throwing things right now if they get into the end zone. I know you will be doing it. I see New Life said you asked about the Indiana campus. IU has a beautiful campus. I need to check out some videos and check out how the campus looks because I can imagine it does look beautiful down there. I've just never seen Indiana's campus. Oh, look at that play there. The shuffle. But man, I mean, that was crowded. There was a lot of bodies in there, but he got in there, and that's all that matters. He got in there. And now the opportunity to tie this one up. That was Jeremiah Johnson with the 2-yard reception there for the Oregon Ducks. Somehow, some way they did it. But man, all tied up. Man, let's see Zoe now, because the next time Zoe come in, I gotta be like, hey man, you gave me a hard time about me putting a lot of points that I projected for this game, but hey, there it is. So now the extra point to tie things up here. Extra point. It is good. So it's all tied up. What's better than JBOT? JBOT times 2. Double overtime here tonight, guys. Get your popcorn ready. We're about to have some more. But right now, if you're Lewis, oh my goodness. Lewis, it's about to go up in flames, man. I feel bad for you. I know you took the under, man, but man, it's not looking good anymore. It's not looking good. Notice that Penn State just got caught targeting that. Like he said, JB overtime gives us some rings. Yeah, some lemon pepper wings down there in Atlanta, perhaps. As it says, easy targeting. How's that not targeting while they said no foul? I have no idea, Bodo. That's the very definition. The very definition for what I was told was targeting. From how they explained it, from the guys that I've seen ejected from the past and stuff like that. So I have no answer for that one, Bodo, really. But maybe somebody can enlighten JB. I'm always up for being informed there. Let's see. You say tomorrow morning. So Rising Rhino's going to be going live tomorrow morning for the international game. Bet. I probably should come through, show some support there. Brayock says, yeah, that was definitely targeting. It was. It was. But you know what? Oregon scored irregardless. Irregardless. Let's see. Arthur says, hey, the football arena is playing Taylor Swift. You love this right now? SM said Vegas made the call. When Vegas makes the call, JB stays clear of the situation. JB wants no part of that. JB's like 0 and 100 versus Vegas, so you can't beat Vegas. Your life says first down. Photo says first down. Doug, how far behind am I in the chat right now? RC said, JB, appreciate you, boss. I sure do, boss. JB and overtime go together like peanut butter and jelly. As long as it's an exciting matchup, JB will be fired up. But if it's not, JB will let you know. Brayock says touchdown. Phoenix, what's good? Oh man, Phoenix had time to go fishing and everything and come back and catch the stream thanks to overtime. What's good? New Life says touchdown, Oregon. All right, so here we go. So right now, Oregon with the football first here in the second overtime from the 25-yard line of Penn State. Play fake. Moore makes somebody miss. Throws it. Has a man who's about to dance his way into the end zone. Okay, maybe not dance, but he got in there for an Oregon touchdown, like Bodo said. Heck of a smart play. Wow. SM said, ball don't lie. RC said, touchdown, baby. There you go. Double OT. It was tied. Lewis is mad. That's it. That's it, ain't it, Lewis? Oh my goodness, Lewis. That messed you up. That messed you up. RC said, JB won't finish this game until until he turns 33. The wife won't let that happen. She will save me before that happens. Photo says second and 14, a minute 55 left to go in that game. Man, this game turned out to be a thriller at the end. It was already good, then it became great. Now it is in thriller category. But let's see what they do having to go for 2 here. Can they get it? More. Snapped it. More. Looking. More. Throws it over the middle. Picked off. He can actually take it all the way and score. He's moving. He's moving. Oh my goodness. He looks like somebody's on TV that's going from different shopping lanes to different shopping lanes out there. Man, he's not going to score. But wow. So basically now if you are Penn State, you know the formula. Obviously, you got to get a touchdown. You have to. But if you go for 2 and get it, you win. Now, what was he thinking on that throw? I have no idea. Let's see. Laney says, what time is that early game? The early game tomorrow for the, let me look and see what time is that one. Because I know Zoe said he was thinking about possibly streaming that one. Ooh. Yeah, so that's going to be 9:30 a.m. Eastern time is the early game tomorrow between the Minnesota Vikings and the Pittsburgh Steelers overseas. That one is going to be 9:30 a.m. 8:30 Central time. All right, but here we go for Penn State. They've got their work cut out for them. Alar throws it. Oh my God, are you serious? Are you kidding me? This is how we're going to end the game. Oh my goodness, they're going to nickname this guy the Frozen One because he is not the chosen one. This is everything that they've said about the flaws of Drew Alar. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. Photo says, irregardless, now you sound like me talking to myself. Lewis said, need a winning field goal. Oh man. Oh my goodness. Let's see. So Bama won, so that game concludes as well. Oh man. So that game is over also. Wow. All I can say is just wow, guys. That was an insane finish right there. An insane finish. Congratulations to Oregon, but Penn State's whoo, Drew Alar is not gonna get any love on campus, guys. No love on campus after that. Photo said first down Alabama, they just won the game. Lewis said, never mind. Oh man, Lewis, that's tough, man. That's tough. Brayock says Kirby can't beat Bama. Say dang OT. Braden says Black's medicine is out there celebrating tonight. You know it. You know it. Photo says, wow, they just intercepted the 2-point play. Oh man, I'm really far behind, guys. Black medicine says roll tide. Oh man, guys, insane finish. Bodo said they almost returned it. They knew like the 3rd and 5, Bama, a minute 51 left in the first down. They were going to win. Let's see. Bodo says, so if they return it, they get the 2 points. Then all they have to do is score the touchdown and they win. That's right. But wasn't meant to be. That's game. Let's see. Black Message says, Brayhawk celebrating the night, crying tomorrow as a Falcons fan. Falcons got a game. Well, just enjoy the night. Lewis says, dang, 6 game winning streak stopped just like that. Somebody take Alar to the altar, man. This man got to repent for whatever sin he's committing out there, guys. It's just bad. It's bad. Alar Lewis says, good stream, JB. Appreciate that and appreciate you. And yes, this was the stream that JB needed. I'm glad that this was the game that we were able to stream in this one here because this was extremely fun. I know it started off as a defensive game, but man, wow, just what a finish. What a finish. Laney said that's early. Yeah, extremely early. Extremely early. What is interception? Oregon. The Ducks win the game. When the Ducks win. Like I said, Penn State did so good to come back, but they fell short. They fell short. This is what it comes down to. In big time situations, you need your quarterback. But you know what? I've seen Drew Alar make that throw a million times. I don't even watch Penn State do that. So at some point, we knew that play was coming. That linebacker studied his film, or whoever made that interception studied the film. But man, that's a heartbreaking way to lose if you're Penn State. Heartbreaking way to lose. But what a big time victory there for Oregon. You had a fright that you didn't think you were going to have. But man, so many emotions. That's what we love about college football. At the end, we're all winners that we got to witness this game. Let's see. SM says insane. Lewis says Steelers +3. He'll drink to that. Diamond says Alabama versus Georgia OT now. Lewis at 54. Stop on 54. Curtis says pathetic. Essen says I'm waking up at 6:30 a.m. in the morning to watch that game. Oh man, Essen, that's dedication. I feel you there. JB will be sleeping at that time. Laney says good night. Yeah, good night to you, Laney. Thanks for coming through. It's been great. It's been real. Curtis starting the chant. Bent Alar. Alar was alarming in that final moments that you needed him. Phoenix says later, JB Nation. Thanks for coming through, Phoenix. Have a great night. And SM says, JB, you the GOAT, great friend. Now, you guys are the real MVPs here. Y'all make JB great. You know, you guys are the Penn State defense that carries me. I'm just a Drew Alar that sometimes get, the attention there. But man, this is what a game this was. Because I really, really had my doubts in the fourth quarter. But shout out to Penn State to tie it up. But man, there's no consolation prize when it comes to football. That was tough, heartbreaking. But Oregon, you got the W. And so good night to you, Braden. Again, don't do anything that JB wouldn't do. And so, yeah, Samuel says next stream start time. That is going to be, I believe it's 8:15 p.m. Central Time is the next stream for JB. Again, that's going to be Monday Night Football. Not doing tomorrow, but I'm going to be doing Monday Night Football at, yeah, 8:15 Central Time, 9:15 Eastern Time. The start of that one. Again, it's the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Denver Broncos. All right, but again, thanks everyone for coming through. New Life says Penn State fought, but couldn't hang in the end. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. But you know what? Before JB does sign off here soon, I'll say this for Penn State. Last year, as an Ohio State fan, I remember when we lost to Oregon last year, and I was so angry at Will Howard for not having the simple mental awareness of watching the clock and knowing that his scramble, and then when he like basically slid, left us no time to call a timeout for a potential game-winning field goal. But it's a long season. It's early. You guys went to two overtimes against a team like Oregon. So it just comes down to learning from this moment. He's really got to learn from this moment. That's all I'm gonna say. So take that as you will. Boda said that's funny. He threw a duck. He did. He did. He did. Let's see. Pirate said, "Great job, JB. Much love and respect. Best wishes to you and yours." Hey, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you coming through, man. And so enjoy the rest of the day, and I'm looking forward to seeing you the next time that we do meet up. But man, what a game! What a game! If only every game could be like this, right? Samuel said you're out. Yeah, good night to you, Samuel. Good night to you. And hey, early happy Sunday. Have a great weekend as well. Absolutely. And anybody that plays fantasy football, best of luck to you. JB's got two teams that's going to try to remain undefeated. The third one, I'm just trying to get it to 500 this week. But my two main leagues in fantasy football, I need them to come through and get me those W's for the NFL tomorrow. But later, Boto, take care and get better, Boto. Get better. Best of luck whenever that operation is going to be. Hopefully, everything goes smooth and you'll recover soon. As he Samuel says, weather safe, y'all. Howard says, and you too. Appreciate that. New Life says, thank you, JB. Glad I found you. A lot of fun, bro. Awesomeness. Hey, that's all we do here. We have fun. We talk a lot of sports here. Sometimes it's more talking than the actual game, especially if it's not as close. But once the game is really good, then hey, I get to focus more on the actual play-by-play commentary part. But I enjoy what I do. So thanks again, everybody, for coming through. Take care. Have a great rest of your weekend. See you guys next time when JB goes live Monday Night Football next time. Take care. JB signing out.